Welcome back to another episode of Eddie Fiola's Fact or Freestyle,
where there's no characters, it's only real people.
We sold the show to Eddie Fiola, but we retained creative control.
We're going to find out what happens when people stop being polite and start getting real.
Let's see how far down. I messed up. Sorry.
Oh, I was
Keep
just getting ready
going,
to
keep
say we don't
going.
have to shoot another
Let's
one
see how
because
far
you
down
nailed it.
the rabbit hole. This rabbit hole will go. What is it? I don't remember what the line is.
Let's see how far down the rabbit hole we go this time.
This time.
Okay,
Let's see how
just do
far
that
down
last one. I can fix
the
it in
rabbit
post.
hole we go this time.
Okay. Boom, I'd end it right there. Mr. Sisman, why are you not in isn't it today you're supposed to be in
All black.
No. I thought you were going to be in Manhattan today.
Oh, next week.
It's next week? What is wrong with you? Why did I think it was
in
this?
what regard?
I thought it was this week. Like I was planning, like when we were making plans, and then you ignored me when I said I couldn't make it this Saturday.
Oh
when
my
you ignored
God.
me.
Do you know
I thought it was,
why that is such a good thing that you stopped your plans? Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine.
How funny would that? Well, it would have been easy. I probably wouldn't have made it there because I would have texted you, what time are you landing today? And you would have been like, what? So I wouldn't have made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't give any specific dates, did you? Or maybe you did. Either way, it's all your fault.
Yeah, I mean, if I did, I had an extraordinarily busy week, and I was telling Angie that it was the funniest thing for me to, because we went to bed early because of this cold. I wake up.
You still have a cold? You've had a cold for 3 weeks now. What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I think I probably just didn't get as much rest and sleep as I needed. Who knows? It comes and goes. Like sometimes I'm a really good boy. I eat everything. I eat great, regimented. I'm doing my stretches and all that stuff, and I'm riding, and the blood's flowing. Sometimes I fall off that. So hey,
You do all your. I hung up on you after you did all your stretches.
yeah, when I fall off of my, for whatever reason, when I fall off of my normal like exercise routine,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I get exhausted, and this whole thing, like, I did a hell of a lot of work to get ready for that San Diego thing, and maybe I was just doing too much of that stuff.
Huh.
Who knows?
I think it's just old age. Just to let you know, you're not. You know what I mean? It's old age.
That could be a component.
Are you 50 yet?
To that.
Are you 50?
No, I'll be 50 in April.
When is your birthday? April what?
22nd.
Oh my God. I just felt like saying that. April 22nd.
I was born on Easter, and
born on Easter? I thought you were born on vacation. That's one of the greatest lines in any sitcom is, I was born on vacation. It's a long story, but anyway.
Who said it? Like what character?
The Drew Carey show, which is in Cleveland, right? There was Karma. So it was like Drew Carey, and then there was like the girl and the guy. Who was the girl and who was the guy? Who were they? Were they just friends?
Yeah.
Were they just all friends? So somebody came over the house and was talking to the group, and they were like, "Oh, and this is my brother." And they're like, well, "How come if it's your brother, why does he have a Southern accent?" And he goes, "I was born on vacation." And for some reason, Warren and I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. And so whenever we see somebody who's a little off, we're like, they're definitely born on vacation.
The story of Drew Carey is incredible.
Like how he was like molested when he was a little kid, then he was a U.S. Marine, and then he was going to kill himself, and now he's on The Price is Right. That's pretty much it, right?
I didn't know any of that stuff.
Come on, man. You got to listen, man.
I'm
you
not
gotta know all this stuff.
I didn't
he was
think
like,
he was a Marine.
He was a Marine, dude.
Holy Christ.
A U.S. Marine. Semper Fi. Hoo-yah.
Those dudes are not to be trifled with.
No. I told you the one about my friend who has like the ID on his like side.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Hey,
this is gonna be part. Is this gonna be part of the show?
Yeah.
I'll
Do you? So
I'll tell you about it later.
This is Ephraim.
Ephraim,
Hey, large.
where is he? Where is he? What's up, dude?
How you
Man,
doing?
that spot looks like you got a spotlight on your head like a doctor in the old movies from the 40s. Wait, there we go.
Let me move it.
Look at that.
We're on the exam table.
I've never heard the first name Ephraim. I've heard of Ephraim. Is it Ephraim or Ephraim?
In
How do you say
America, my mum says Ephraim actually.
See?
Powell says Ephraim.
Can I say Ephraim?
I actually heard quite a lot of people say it in America, funnily enough.
Yeah, well, I know a guy named Ephraim. That's why I was.
Yeah, and there
saying,
was a
like,
place. Scotty Kramer once sent me a mountain called Mount Ephraim.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
Joe never knew that. Fact or freestyle? Is that true, Joe?
About Scotty and the
Is that
mountain?
true? Did he send me that? No, you're not allowed to look at your phone. You're not allowed to look at your phone.
I won't. So here's the thing. You have a photographic memory, and you never lie. And so I'm gonna say that's absolutely true.
Good one.
It's true, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yep. So Ray eventually told me that he never lies, and it
I
was
lie all
very
the
shocking.
time, just not to you. I lie all the time, but not to you. Not on this show. I don't lie. I don't lie about anything. Like anything on this whenever I'm talking to you. Anything on Eddie Fiola's Factor Freestyle, I do not lie.
So
is it endorsed by Gail Webb though? Is it?
It doesn't have to be, but it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she was on and told us so much of her story. From when she and her husband were doing shows and teaching these kids how to entertain and stuff like that, and how to keep them on the straight and narrow. It was good. Yeah,
I just know the name from the old magazines and seeing Large Ray in the magazines as well with that crazy helmet.
Yeah, that was me. that helmet's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in a museum now. I can't be happier.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
where it should be.
Oh, yeah. Look, there's Todd. There's Todd Carter.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
All good over here. How about you?
Yeah, going well. Going well.
We had a plan to talk about trick names because
There's Rodney.
Rodney, what's up?
What's up, fellas?
In the house.
Hey, Rodney.
Hello, hey. Good to see you.
And you. What is that hat? That's pretty cool. 4130.
Oh yeah, it's one of Steve Inge's, Poor Boy Steve's.
Oh,
hats.
okay, Poor Boy. Yeah, I used to ride for Allied back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's also everybody that ever rode a BMX bike, their pin number for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a time when somebody
True
could have stolen
story.
my identity with this.
Hey, Ephraim? What's the backstory with Poor Boy Steve? You said you rode for him back in the day.
After he had Poor Boy, he had a company called Allied. You remember the Loiter video and stuff like that? There was a distributor here called Custom Riders, and they distributed Allied in the UK, and I rode for Allied through the Custom Riders shop. Pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty much the backstory.
Hey, Carlo. Is
Hey,
it Carlo or Carlos?
Carlo.
All right, Carlo. So, Ray, this is the homie who's doing those tutorials. And we're fascinated with tutorials because our friend Dave has been mislabeling his tutorials.
Oh shit. Did you like my practical joke with Dave at Circle of Balance? Joe, did you understand that or no?
So here's my understanding of it.
Right.
Dave goes, Ephraim looks at me and he goes, how can you put up with Joe? He makes you look so bad.
No.
Yeah, I was messing
Joe
with
doesn't
him
make
so
anybody look bad. He's very curious and likes to ask a lot. He likes to ask a lot of questions to find out
I've
what's
tuned
going
into
on.
a few of your shows and you're busting his balls, and
No.
he came into the Circle of Balance like practice area, VIP area, I guess they'd call it. And he just started riding, and I was like, whoa, this is like, if only Joe was here, he'd be like, who gives you the right to ride in here? That kind of thing, you know? And then he just decked it so hard. I don't even know what he did, but he landed on his back so hard. Like,
That's
whole place
standard Dave Norrie. Touches and then falls a lot.
Well, so this is what's so funny.
He did speak of that specific slam several times, Ephraim.
Oh, Todd, you've never seen anybody slam so hard. I was just like, oh
Gumby
my
to
God.
Vanderroll.
Yeah, he
does it off
described
tables when he's drunk.
Do you know why he crashed?
Because he's got that cheat lever thing. No, the cheat bar end, and it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Another
Okay.
story,
So
but yeah,
there's lots of resi on Dave's Gumby setup.
Yeah.
But
Ton of resi.
He said he was so paranoid about sneaky touching that he didn't sneaky touch, and because of that, he had to go into a Gumby rebate, and he lost his balance and did a Vanderroll out, and that's why he ate it and how he ate it.
I was trying to update my website with the 5 questions with Terry Adams, and all you hear is this clash of Dave Norrie all over the floor, and I'm like, look at that cheap bar end. What is going on there, Dave? Does
Poor
Joe know
Dave.
about this? Does Joe know about this bar end? And he's just looking at me like, I don't think he's understanding what I'm saying.
I mean, like, I know that he raised the seat to get it to touch, but you're telling me that there's like a Skyway style.
Yeah,
the Peterson thing that does it come out of the bar or come out of the seat?
I thought it came out of the bar, but I didn't look close enough. You'll have to ask him.
There used to be a seat.
The Skyway grabber.
Yeah.
With that little extension thing. Yeah.
The beach.
What it comes down to is
what
it comes down to, and there's Dave on mute. Dave needs as much help as he can get. Right, Dave? With his Night Stalker hat on. Dave's got his Night Stalker hat on in the van. This can't be good.
Yes, Dave. We want to know about your.
I'm in a Prius. I'm not in a van. I'm in a
dude. You're
Prius,
in a.
my friend.
You look like you're OJ ready to go visit Nicole, dude.
I just.
Oh, you made Todd groan.
They're after me.
Oh, well, Todd is the main instigator. I'm working this out from your shows so far.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Todd's nothing but trouble. He's very quiet, but he's the.
You got to watch the quiet. You got to watch the quiet ones. If history tells you anything, that's for sure.
You told me that a long time ago, Todd. I always paid attention to that.
It's amazing how Todd can weigh in creatively on some of my most egregious bits. Todd and I have planned quite a few on the deal, and I'm like, look, this is really good work. Do you want credit for it? And he's like, no, that's all right.
The silent assassin. I love it.
It's funny because Ephraim, you I think you sent me something and you're like, I've been getting all these questions and they're like, Todd Carter is Flat Bible. And I'm like, I have absolutely
You've
not
contributed,
Flat
Todd.
Bible.
Yes, you have. You've contributed. Definitely.
You're
going red, Todd. That gives it away.
Oh, which ones did you contribute to?
I would
Todd?
say that I am flattered that someone would have that much confidence in me, but I'm absolutely not Flat Bible.
Yeah, you've contributed in a roundabout way. I know it.
Wow.
Yeah, my money's on Todd.
You're a clever person, Todd. You tell somebody else, and then you put the thought in their head, and then it appears. Yeah.
Oh yes, Flat Bible by proxy.
Yeah. Maybe.
Flat Bible Resi, we'll call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dave, we were talking about your crash at Circle of Balance.
Talk us through that.
Oh my gosh.
You had you've got like a bar extender, right?
No, I just have my seat way forward. I have a straight seat post and my seat's all the way forward so it does hit. So I can do the Gumby.
So you can't spin the bar, right?
No,
we can't
I have
spin
a quick release, so I drop it when I'm doing other tricks, but when I do all the balance stuff, I raise it up so it hits. And the crazy
I've never
thing
seen
is
anybody land that hard on a Gumby.
I know, I've never landed that hard. You saw it then. Did you film it?
I heard it. Sorry?
You didn't happen to film it, did you?
No, I was updating Flat Matters at the time, and you delayed me.
Oh my gosh! Sorry about that. Did you make your deadline?
Yeah, I made it.
Your deadline. Okay.
I made my deadline. I had 5 minutes before the battle started, and I was like, "Shit, I'm gonna miss this."
Well, I gotta say,
funny.
this has been 3 weeks now, and I'm still like, I don't think I cracked a rib, but I think I definitely bruised him because I'm still sore. I've never had a crash like that. And not only was my ego crushed, but my ribs are still hurting, like to this day.
And it was on carpet too. Ouch.
Oh my gosh.
Was it carpet? No, I was on that little.
Yeah, it was like a carpet floor. Yeah.
That it's like practice area.
Yeah, it was like a carpet floor.
Oh. I thought it was like plywood.
Oh, come on,
I thought it was plywood.
So is that Flatland Resi?
Yes.
It's on carpet.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
When I train for the Gumby, I'm gonna get crash pads, like gymnast crash pads, because the last thing I want to do is go down on that floor in a Gumby. But I will film. I'm going to film every one of my Gumby attempts, because if
Are you going to do a Gumby rebate, Joe?
You got to do the rebate to crash.
Here's a list. I got to do a Gumby. I got to do a naked Gumby, and then I got to do a Gumby rebate.
No, then you got to do a Gumby on a freewheel, and that's a different story.
Oh, that's right. A Gumby on a freewheel. I was Oh, that's terrifying.
What about a spinning Gumby, Dave? That's possible.
I tried it, and it turned into a pterodactyl. I basically did a swivel, dropped it down, and then I went. I don't know if you saw that trick. It's basically just one knee. It's no-handed and one foot off and one knee on, and I'm spinning.
Amazing.
But I can't really look underneath. But Joe, the freewheel thing is not that hard. I think you should do the freewheel second, because it's not that hard. You'd be surprised.
And this is the last thing I'll say about this, because I do want us to get to Carlo and hear his story of his comeback. But my in order of priority is Rego Gumby,
okay,
naked Gumby, and then freewheel Gumby.
Somewhere in there has to be switch Gumby too.
Oh God. I have to do it forward, backwards, inside, outside, left leg, right leg, and then I can say that I know.
Bars forwards, bars backwards.
Bars back.
Okay, Joe, you know what you have to do? You have to crawl all the way through, like that woman did on the
A Gumby Undertaker.
Yeah, she did a Gumby.
A Gumby
Undertaker,
Undertaker.
Can
Like,
you
all the
crash
way
as
through the
bad as
frame.
Dave though? That's the question.
A
Dude,
Gunder Taper.
It took me 35 years to crash that hard, Efren. So I don't think he's going to crash that hard.
Oh, you done pretty good. Yeah, that was. Oh
That
man,
was
was
I've never
it,
crashed like that.
yeah, it was the savage one.
Hey,
Yeah,
Carlo.
wasn't it Chase who said that you can't say you've learned the trick until you can do it both sides?
Yeah, I've heard
was
that.
Yeah. So Carlo,
Just saying.
your comment. Yeah, we're gonna get back to that and what Chase said. Carlo, you I'm pulling up your Instagram right now. Why don't you tell these dudes your 10-minute story of how you got back into riding and are doing tutorials?
Yeah, it happened about February, about 2 years ago. We still had some lockdown going on here, so I started going on TikTok, just looking around. So I just threw an old bike together that I had, and I did one video, like 5-second long, doing a slider, and it got 1.5 million views. And I'm like, what? So yeah, it got 1.5 million views. My first video I ever did. So I'm like, this might be something, man.
Let me make sure that I get this right. One and done, 1.5 milli.
And that's on TikTok. I have 85,000 followers on there.
Yeah, it's got different algorithm, Joe.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just took off. So I have a 3-year-old at the same time that's getting into bikes. So I'm like, I'm going to try this again, man. I haven't ridden in 30 years. So I bought a bike, put a nice bike together. And the past year, I've been taking it a lot more serious after the video went viral. And now on there, I think I have 20 million views on TikTok.
That's insane.
From doing 5-second little videos. So I started, doing all the basics again. I can't do what I used to do, but I'm trying. I'm going to try to relearn everything I used to be able to do. And right now we're about 2 years into it. And I started doing tutorials about 2 months ago. I got tons of emails, show us how to do the basics. And I started with the endo, and I'm going from there, getting harder every week.
Does that mean you get paid for it
gosh.
if you're getting 20 million views? You must do.
Yeah, 20 million views in 2 years, I probably made $400.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Pro Flatlander.
Yeah, you're pro Flatlander. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I think that's what JF makes.
There's companies coming now, like a couple medicine companies came to me, want me to represent their medicine and stuff like that. And if it's stuff like that, I'm not going to do it. But if it's anything BMX related, I am. So I just.
This is kind of what I was doing on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Bullseye BMX. You guys remember Bullseye?
Yeah.
They just moved to the town I live in, Fountain Hills, Arizona.
Nice.
And they're next door to me. So he's making me a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to do a bunch of videos for them.
That was
and stuff.
lawnmower. Nice.
Yeah, which is really cool. We're in a small town in Arizona, and they ended up in the same town, which is really cool.
Hey, Carlo, how did you get the deal with Dan's competition? I have to say, I went to your link and I couldn't figure out how to get the discount, but how did you set that up?
What that was they saw through TikTok, people were asking me, where do you get your bike? Where did you get this? Where do you get your shoes? So I would tag at Dan's comp because that's where I bought everything.
Yeah.
Then they came back to me and they're like, dude, this is awesome. You're sending a lot of people our way. Let's, do a little thing. Whatever you sell, we'll give you a percentage type of thing.
Oh, so you get a little percentage. Okay, got it. Okay.
Right.
I thought
Correct.
we got a discount if we ordered something off of that link that you provided, that we would get a discount, but you get a kickback, which is great. I would support it 100%.
Discount off that link too. The link might have expired. I have to update it every 30 days. So I actually need to do that. But yeah, the customer is supposed to get 10% off as well.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
Joe.
Yeah, right.
Basically, what Carlo did in less than 2 years, Dave's been trying since 1982. Did you see Dave's eyes light up when he got 400?
He did.
Bucks
He was
TikTok?
I know.
$400
I was like,
bucks from
$400?
TikTok.
He's like, I could buy some.
Don't be trying to steal his
another
deal.
house.
So Dave, if you take one of your tutorials you could probably make like what 30 5-second videos out of those.
Dave, are
And
you
then
on
you could make
TikTok?
them again with the correct names on them. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Dave, you gotta
Yeah.
get
you
on.
could reissue
You gotta
them.
get on TikTok, and you now, Carlo can now be your 4th life coach.
Who's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
help me with the names? I don't know what to do about the names. I need help.
Well, look, you again, Dave, look, we're all here for you. We put the
man.
show
Yeah.
together
Todd's here.
to
Joe,
help
can you
with the trick
Can you
names.
play the video that I just sent you? Because I tried to do the correction. So Joe brought to my attention this morning that I called something a fire hydrant into Freaks Week circles, and I didn't even do a circle. I only did one circle. I didn't do it more
You
times.
didn't even do one circle. It was like it was
was
not
weak.
even a circle.
I was
It
rushing
was-
through it. So today,
Yeah.
before the show, I literally tried
This
to
is so
I
funny.
tried to make a correction video,
All right,
and this is what I
I'm
got.
on it. I'm on it. Oh my
I
God.
finally got it. I was like rushing through it because I had to get to the show. I put a
Should I use sound?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
We need all the ammo we can get.
Welcome back.
Oh.
Another edition of Nori's Niche. We're working on some basic flatland
Oh my
freestyle
God.
maneuvers for the old and the young and everyone in between.
I can't see it.
One,
Well, that's really good, Dave.
two. This
For-
is what I wanted.
3.
Look at that.
Okay, watch.
This is going to be called Nori's Niche
Yeah.
50.
Look at that.
Okay, the timer went off on my phone because I had to get to the show, and it cut
Yeah.
off the rest of the video.
That's fine. It's gonna be called. Look,
Let
it's
me-
gonna be called
Dave,
Noise
let me tell you
Niche One and
something.
Done. That
For
was so
Dave-
good, Dave. I'm so
That
proud
was
of you.
good.
I'm
Dave,
gonna
for-
post it. Carlo,
Dave, for
Carlo,
80 show hack.
do I
that's
get your
a great
approval?
trick.
I think I should get everything approved by Carlo now because he's
I
the.
would.
Yeah,
I mean,
Carlo,
he's
you're
a
our
leader.
quality assurance leader.
Do you
for
think,
Dave.
Carlo, do you think Dave should get a do you think Dave should immediately run out and get a TikTok account and get rolling here?
I do. He'd blow up real quick. Absolutely.
Look, Dave.
I have one. I never used it though. I do have Dave
well,
Nori
guess
TikTok.
what? It's time to start listening to Carlo here.
It's time to start listening to
1.5 million
Carlo.
on a
I'm sorry,
slider.
life coach,
I know,
life
on a-
coach Carlo.
Life coach Carlo.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
if
so
it's
Carlo's
lighter,
Dave's life
pull up.
coach.
First video, and it's still got it. But yeah,
How many you do a week, Carlo?
I still work a day job. I'm pretty much stuck to riding on the weekends, so I'll film like a couple hours worth of stuff today and tomorrow. Then I try to get a trick for every day, so I'm posting at least once every day on TikTok.
Nice.
That
And I
doesn't
do
mean you have to post twice, Dave.
Yeah, sometimes
I think Dave's gonna have to drive to Arizona and do one with him, so then you can get some of his drip, some of that drip will
Dave's
land
gonna
on you.
have to drive
Yeah.
to Arizona.
I think
Yeah.
so. I need
So
that
what did
purple
you-
haze.
What did you call that trick, Dave?
Which trick?
The one you just did.
I called it a fire hydrant to Freak Squeak.
All
circle.
right. So here's how this started.
What? Wait.
Dave's
What do you call it?
actual-
Ephraim? First, what would you call that?
I mean, I'll pretty much say the same thing. If you're going to follow like 101 tricks, it would be fire hydrant to, I don't really like it now, but it's called hyperspastic freak squeak.
And I couldn't say hyperspastic because I wasn't doing a hyperspastic, Ephraim.
Yeah, that's what I
wasn't-
mean. It's just like people have, if you do it slightly slower than what McCoy did,
Yeah, it's not gonna
just in
justify it.
circles. Yeah.
It's only spastic. It's not hyperspastic.
It's mildly spastic.
Mildly
Yeah.
spastic.
It's somewhat spastic. So
But
Ephraim,
nowadays, I guess you would just say freak squeak. But I've seen a lot of people call it front yard, which is a different trick. Front yard's in front of
Yeah,
the
I
bike.
got corrected
that's
on
not
that. I
right.
got schooled on that. Don't worry, Ephraim. I know
Hence,
that.
hence the name. Well,
he got
yeah, I'm just
schooled
saying.
very hard. So Ephraim, this is why this came up. So if you go to Dave's Facebook page for the Nori's Niche or Nori Bike Academy, episode number 50 says how to do freak squeaks in circles.
Yeah.
But he never got more than half a circle. And so I had to fact check him.
How to freak squeak in half a circle.
Yeah. And I was like, look,
That's pretty impressive, though, if you spin and then get out.
well, anyway, so that's what That's what triggered today's redemption. That's Dave's story. He fakes that stuff to bait me.
And
then he
Joe,
has
I
it in his
told you what
pocket.
Ephraim said when I saw him at Circle of Balance. He said, "How do you put up with Joe? He makes you look like so bad." And I said, "Oh, that's just Joe." And you know, he's making me a better person.
No. You said, yeah, right. That's what you said.
I said,
Oh, you didn't say anything about me picking on him though, did you? Because you don't sense that, do you?
No, you don't want to mess with Large Ray. Doesn't want to.
No. Can't cross that. Can't cross that.
Ephraim knows his shit, man.
He does.
He knows.
That's right. All right, so let's talk about this crack packer thing. Crack packer versus wheelchair. So I was going.
You're still talking about that? God damn! It's the 2-3, Joe. Come on, man.
All right. So what is the current trick name problem?
There isn't one, but everybody seems to make it one. But when Pete invented the trick, it's called a crack packer. The wheelchair is the scuffing motion to get into a crack packer. So it's kind of like calling, I don't know. It's kind of like calling a foot jam tail whip a whiplash, which all the park guys currently do.
Because of Dave Mira BMX 2 video game.
Yeah, I'll blame it on Alex Colburn. It's his fault.
Alex Colburn?
Yeah.
So the emphasis on trick names. Tell us why trick names are so important. Dave asked me this the other day, and Joel Shalhoub asked me this.
I think it is with any like Flatland. Well, BMX is a culture, and if somebody invents a trick and gives it a name, then it is important to. The most essential thing in Flatland, I guess, is creativity. So, are we saying that it's not that important? I guess that's the question, and I would say yes, it is. So, you have to pay respect to the artist. That's kind of like having Pablo Picasso or Monet or somebody like that, I don't know, George Seurat, do a painting, give it a name, and then somebody goes,
"That's a bunny hip tail whip."
Yeah. It's called the Todd Carter.
Well, I have become in my old age, Ephraim, I've become more and more accustomed to making trick names stick. For example, I am also a purist when it comes to like the Whopper, because Bill made that up, and it has become a kind of a staple for really all disciplines of BMX, or many disciplines, and very few people get it correct. So when I see that, I almost always respond, because I feel like it's I don't know why. Maybe it's part of the get off my lawn syndrome.
That's probably like, because you're close to it. I don't get offended when people call that a bunny hop whip, because that's kind of what it is. But I could, in Flatland circles, we would call it a whopper. I never hear anybody say like, I don't know, I did a whopper off a 1 foot high ledge. I've never heard that.
I've never heard that either.
Well, I think the thing too with that, and I don't want to speak for him, but I was talking to Bill about this a couple of weeks ago. I think he was saying, I hope I'm not wrong about this, but he was like, what street riders do, like if you're doing it off a ledge, that's not a whopper.
Oh, right.
Because you got the extra time to do it, right? Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, but also like the other thing to answer your
question.
The other thing to answer your question, Joe, is if you spend, in my opinion, if you spend so much time doing what we do, like in my case, like 36, 37 years, why would you not want to get the tricks right?
Sure.
Like, and also, why would you not want to know what you're actually doing? If that makes sense. Like I quite often hear pros get the name of tricks wrong, and I'm like, how is this possible? And they're like, we don't care. I'm like, I think that's part of the problem.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I feel like there is an element of we just don't care, Ephraim. I really do feel that's
so if we don't care, how can anybody else care? You kind of got to love the culture first before everybody else can love it. I think it's BMX comes from the soul, as we all know. Like,
You guys
I
remember
mean,
Randy Tishman?
Sure,
yeah.
the magician.
Sure.
Yeah. I used to ride with him. I was friends with him. And one time, had to be around 87, I was talking to Dennis McCoy. And he's like, Randy stole my trick, the Randy roll, and named it the Randy roll. Dennis McCoy used to do it the other way.
He did, yeah.
Named it the Randy roll, I guess.
Nice.
Which one is the Randy roll?
Where you kick and put your left leg on the top bar and kind of roll in a circle.
It's like a boomerang landing with your left foot on the frame, and then rather than landing the trick, you roll that.
Yeah, you roll it.
You Randy roll it.
Yeah, exactly. But
Not
Dennis
McCoy roll it.
Dennis did that a lot, actually, and you're right. He did them the other way.
Yeah,
but he did that a lot when he would combine it with his footwork,
which was amazing.
Style. But yeah, he did that early too.
Yeah, or Randy did the Randy roll. Yeah.
I do get some pushback from time to time, Ephraim, on Old School Sunday, and the fact that I won't.
We can look at it.
Be careful how I say this, but there are people who are very connected to the world of Flatland who could care less about history and what's been done, and they're quite honestly just not even feel like it's irrelevant. And so for me to, I have kind of developed kind of maybe it's a response to that, where I feel like it's
important.
It's even more important for people to know what's been done. Not that we have to repeat it, or not that we're stuck there. And those aren't kind of goals of mine, but rather I think we learn and better ourselves when we have a more complete picture of our history.
Exactly. That's kind of why I started Flat Matters in the first place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think without it, we're not as a complete community. We don't have, the ultimate respect for riders of all generations. And I mean, I feel it's important. So that's one of the reasons that I continue to do it, even though I get darts from time to time from people who feel like it's, almost a joke. And that's hard to take because, some of those times were so great.
But I'm sure, Todd, if you flip that forward, those person, like you're saying, throwing darts or whatever, but if those people that are throwing the darts created a trick and then didn't get the credit for it, and you were like, I just don't care. What are you talking about? I'm sure they'd be totally pissed. And you're like, let's go back 30 years. Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're
so
absolutely
right. You have to be consistent with respecting the culture. I think it doesn't go away just because you're 30 years old. It's still there.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey Todd.
Ephraim, what about some of the newer tricks that are just hard to you don't hear names of the newer tricks, like some of the Japanese riders, the links that they did? I don't know what they're called. Do you have names for those? Like what you was doing when he would go? I mean, I know there were kind of some.
Do they have names for them? Hold on. Do they have names for them? That's what's important.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I don't think that you're talking about U category, I presume.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that he did anything new position wise, but what he did do was the switches were new.
Yeah, exactly.
So all those tricks were already existing. So yeah, all those tricks have names. Yeah.
And most of them were dubs. I think that's what Dub was kind of pointing out.
Tell me that. So
no.
let me. Oh, this is so good, Dave. You just said that during Circle of Balance, while watching you, immediately prior to smiling in front of the camera when you fell, you said that, or you just told us that Dub said you was doing Dub's tricks. Did I hear that right?
Mostly.
Yep.
I've never heard that.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I hadn't considered it because
we should have Dub on because Dub can speak into that because he did mention that. He did mention that, I think, after the comp, that he spoke about it during the final run.
Okay, so what are Dub's
And I don't know which
original
tricks they are. I
glides?
wish I could tell you, but I know that they're obviously some of the back wheel, maybe not the links like Ephraim was saying, they're new. Just the
It's the
different
the switches, the transitions,
transitions,
whatever you
yeah.
want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. But I mean, to a degree, everyone's doing everyone's tricks right now. To be honest, I haven't seen anything that really.
I mean,
I thought that
System
was totally theirs. Yeah, there's bits that you can, like, everybody's doing De Groot's ride out, every single.
Oh
back
my
row
gosh,
rider.
yeah.
It's the new time. It's the new time machine, Todd.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
It's banned in my book. I can't do it anymore. I'm like, nope.
what are you referencing? Which ride out?
So when you're like upside down, like backwards ice cream, whatever you want to call it, and then you kind of bar flip the bar halfway out, and then you put your foot on the front peg and ride out.
Oh, right. Okay.
I call it, out of respect to Chad, because I've never heard a name for it. I just call it the De Groot Undertaker. That's what I call it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And what would De Groot call it? Like, would De Groot?
I have no idea. I haven't actually got a chance to ask him. I always wanted to know.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't have a name.
Right. It's a good topic, Joe. I'm glad you brought it up.
He has invented so much stuff.
Yeah.
It's astounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, in the Baco days, definitely. Yeah. But even at that time, I would have thought, like, when he lived in Arizona and escaping the Wisconsin winter, I would imagine, to your point about you and Dub, I'm sure that Chase was there at that time and some of the stuff crosses over. I'm sure it does.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, everything's influenced by something.
Dave, when I try to explain what I saw, Keo or you do, I don't know the names of any really much of what they do, but I will say I know, for example, Keo does a blender.
That one.
Yeah. Like Keo, okay, I know he does a blender. So he steps on the tire, then steps over right-footed onto the pedal to get to a blender. So I would kind of be more of a just be more of a description of what's happening rather than a trick name, because I don't know.
So I would say that is like a backside orb to blender of what Scott Powell did, but it's half of it.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're right.
And that new one that Keo did without touching the tire is basically a brakeless orb, if you like, without a foot jam.
Yeah,
it's so insane.
Man.
Hey, Hector Garcia is here, and
hello, Hector.
Hector's got a contest going on.
Oh, here we go. Profanity. Are we watching the movie Friday? Oh, I love the branding for this event, by the way.
Fuck Hector.
That's cool. Fuck Hector.
That's what FH. Hey, Hector.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
All right. Yeah,
hey, Hector, yeah, we can hear you.
What's up?
Welcome.
What's happening, Hector?
Where's Jerry? Jerry in here yet?
No.
Not yet.
Hey, fuck Hector.
Yeah, fuck Hector.
What's going on?
We're just chatting about Flatland. Same old.
Let me see where Jerry's at, if he's still here.
Look at this.
Here.
I love the branding of this event. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Very good. Very well done, Hector.
Yeah. Good job.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. I took my time on it.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. Very well done.
You'll see a lot of new updates today and tomorrow with new sponsors, new updates. So,
is there somewhere to see the rider list that you mentioned, Hector? Because I wanted to post it. Like,
I'm gonna. So that'll be something I work on later today. I'm updating it because I posted one like about a week ago, and since then there's at least like 20, 25 more riders to add, AM and Pro.
Nice.
Hennig, Dan Hennig from Zurich just registered last week.
I saw that.
Yeah, Dan's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
He just booked a flight.
That dude beat cancer, so he wins.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, really.
I don't know his whole story, so it'll be good to
Yeah, he loves a beer as well. So just make sure you give him plenty of milk. That's what we were having a beer in Zurich, Hector, and I bought a beer and it looked like a carton of milk. It had like cows all over it, and I'm like, is this milk or is it beer? What is it? We just call it milk ever since.
Hey, is there a passcode to get in? I think Jerry's asking. It should go.
It should go right through, but sometimes you might get a little glitch and you need it. Joe will send it to him.
Okay.
I'll take care of
Type in "fuck Hector," you'll be straight in.
Oh man, that's my bank password.
Hector, can you tell us a little bit more about? I know it's a jam, it's a contest. It's like, give us kind of a rundown of what you're picturing.
Yeah. So man, I've always had this idea of just a whole weekend of Flatland. And so, but I've also, for a main event, I always pictured a more intimate setting. And of course you have events that are doing that already, like Voodoo Jam. What's the last event that Jumalin did in the car warehouse? Never Off the Battle. Those are smaller settings. So I just, I come from a not just BMX, but I used to break dance like in the 80s and stuff. And so I've still kind of kept abreast to like just b-boy culture and all that. And so I always love that energy that like a b-boy contest has, because it's just everything revolves around this one little area. So, it's kind of an experiment too. So we'll find out if it really works. And maybe for the next event, I'm going to realize like, man, we need a little bit more space. But this is a 50-foot circle. And I just picture everyone just being a little bit more closer. And so we just did a recording with Hang 5 podcast, which will be out like next week, I think. But one thing
I take them so long to put out,
bro, because the content is so deep, bro. You can't handle it.
All right, got it.
No, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But he's gonna try to crank this one out quick, just for because time is of the essence or whatever.
Yeah.
But so when I share this, man, this is not even to shit on any big jams or anything, but because you guys know this is how it's always been, like since beginning at Flatland. You have big old jams and big areas, and you
like
always
One Love is a huge parking lot.
Yeah. So One Love, like, man, I'm gonna miss it, but I really enjoyed it last time. But when you have that big of an area, you open the door for a guy to go want to ride all by himself way over there. Like Dave Norrie will be way out there in the corner doing a no, I'm kidding.
Signing autographs.
Yeah.
That's not me. I'll be right in the thick of it. But
in the middle signing autographs.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you'll have a little rider group here, another one here, a couple of guys over there. And I always found that kind of odd. Like, man, why doesn't everyone just come ride together? So this will force everyone to do that on the main event day. And then the day before on Friday will be more room. There's a brand new basketball court that they just built. So we're going to break that in, and I'll probably piss off the city because we're going to leave tire swirls all over that brand new basketball area. That'll be more chill, hang out, everyone catch up. I'm going to have a barbecue truck pull up at one point. And then of course, Saturday is the main event, a little tight, more knit. I'm taking what I've learned from other events, and being at Circle of Balance, I saw the importance of like bleachers and stuff like that. So, so I'm going to use some of that, and just to create a really good vibe and a good setting.
Sounds cool.
So
what's the format for Saturday? Is it going to be a battle, or is it going to be contest runs and then qualify for battle, or how's that going to work?
So yeah, pictures showing up by 9 a.m. People are welcome to come and just start showing up and riding. So big jam with 3 contests in the middle of the whole day. So you come, you hang out. There's going to be food, coffee, vendors. Our sponsors will be set up. We'll have a DJ, three DJs throughout the day. Food truck outside. You can jam and ride in the circle. And then at 3 specific times throughout the day, there'll be we're calling it a Grom class, which is that age group that like Omari's working with. You know, under 13, 14. Then the AM class, and then the pro. And those will be at specific times throughout the day, and there'll be a very clear schedule. And so we're jamming and everything, and then everyone will know like, hey, Grom class is starting at this time, Groms only, practice, you got the floor. And then, well, depending on how many people, we'll break it up into heats. So we'll do heats, and those kind of will serve as qualifiers without having this big drawn out qualifier.
Okay.
So the heats will have, you know, so picture you have one heat, you each get a couple of runs. JF is helping us, and then Frank Lucas is kind of chatting with me, giving me some ideas. But what is a typical run time? Like 2.5 minutes?
2.5 minutes, yeah.
For which class?
Let's just say AM.
Yeah, 2 minutes or 2:30. Yeah, I would say
Okay.
no more than that.
Yeah. So each heat, you get a couple of runs, and from, you know, the winners from each heat, eventually you end up with 5 guys that go to a battle, and then that's where we do a battle format.
Cool.
And again, I'm taking what I've learned over the years from different events. I'm not trying to recreate the wheel. I love the battle format, and then again, that's where it brings us back to that breakdance battle format.
Yeah,
a lot of energy. So that's the basic format for the day. And then the, you know, the same way like, you know, Voodoo Jam, he always put a big emphasis on that big pro combat in the evening. I'm gonna do the same, like even with our efforts to get other spectators from the city to come and hang out, like that's the big event.
Who will be doing the cartwheels?
You are, because you still can karate kick, right?
I can still.
Joe
I
can
haven't
karate kick
in a
with the
while.
best of them.
Joe, can you do splits?
Not now.
Are you doing those in regular stretch jeans, Joe, or are they?
His pants are usually a little bit too tight for that, but he might be able to. He might be able to do something.
Hey,
that one picture from the York Jam of me like,
That was a good
doing
one.
that. That was real. And Scott O'Brien really, he's like, nah, man. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
In fairness, you have cried wolf a few times, Joe. So
yeah, I never know if it's real or not. I'm checking everything. Like, going, is this real?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be emceeing the event, but I'm just gonna do it squatting the whole time in a corner.
I will have a squat off with anyone.
You need to get John Huddleston there. He was a jam circle master, wasn't he, Large Ray? God,
yeah.
Damn.
You know what? I might add a squatting contest.
I will smoke.
It's a nice concept.
Better than anybody.
How would that
nice
look?
concept. I think it's difficult for new riders to get into that. I don't know what jam circle can be intimidating. So you
how would a squatting contest look like, Joe? I don't know.
You don't know. It's all over the
internet. You face one another. You face one another, and you go 1, 2, 3, and you just stare one another down, and you wait to see when the other guy's like about to fall over.
Do the heels have to stay on the back of the? Do the heels
have to be on the ground?
Yeah,
it's like a man's squat.
Wow,
yeah, it's not a catcher squat.
So, Kevin Edwards, you guys remember Kevin Edwards, right?
Sure.
Kevin Edwards, hey, I'm going to take on the world. I'm after you. Oh, you think you can squat? I'm going to have a squat off with you. And I squatted off with that dude on FaceTime. We didn't record it. But I watched him, you know, he's like, I'm like, oh yeah, it's getting real. And I don't know, it was like 7-8 minutes, and he goes, ah.
Can I enter my own? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you enter your own what? Tell me.
can I enter my own guy in the squat fest? I have a Cambodian friend that squats every morning out in the driveway, smokes cigarettes.
Maybe. That I think that'd be like Jerry in the cockfight.
Yeah,
Hey
sounds
Joe,
like he's pro class.
can I bring my Cambodian to have a squat off with you? Let's see if I'm as tough as I say I am. I assert I'm a global, global pro squatter.
That's awesome, bro.
Hector, I think it sounds like an awesome event. One thing that I would love to see for maybe the next one is maybe an expanded AM category, like expert, old school, or whatever your definition of that would be, and like a master class too. I know there are a lot of folks who are maybe technically AM riders who would be maybe more motivated to want to go to, a contest if, they felt like they had more of a shot. So if it's just
I got you.
Every AM in the country coming together.
That's what I was telling you with the AFA, wasn't it, Todd? Like
exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's probably too late for this one, but maybe, in the next time because I mean, Brian and Huffman and I have conversations about this a lot, and it's like, we're trying to find our home, like in this, our aging riders,
right.
Figuring out, I don't know that I fit really in any of the categories that a lot of contests have for us these days. And maybe a master's class would be awesome.
I mean, honestly, there's still time. I have room, I think, where I could, and I was listening to the Hang 5 episode with Frank Lucas, and Frank actually talks about the same thing. Like, he feels like there needs to be a super, I forgot what he called it, but it's like your AM and then your super AM.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's a really good one, Joe. That's a really good one.
Joe,
really
how did you get that high, dude?
That angle is making it look higher than what it is.
I was in Taekwondo. I have a black belt, and I knew the technique. But look at that.
That's really
high,
good.
though.
Really good.
I'm impressed, bro.
That's Cambodian level, Joe.
Your squatting technique needs some work.
Oh, wait a second. I have one of those.
You went straight into a squat as well, bro.
Wait, I wanted to hear Hector finish what you were saying, though, Hector.
That was a great point, Hector. I thought too about like I don't know if it's like super or whatever.
Yeah, so listen to that episode. It's somewhere in the middle. He talks to Fan about it. He's like, he feels like we've progressed so much that the gap has widened, and the age of the typical Flatlander has that. You need to break AM up. So I hear you, bro. And you know what? Even after we talk today, I'm going to see what I can do to fit that in. Because I think there's room for that. Because I don't want to leave you guys out either.
Well, honestly, that was part of the, what was at the core of Huffgate 1, which was Keith King trying to kick Brian Huffman out of amateur class. And
where was this in North Carolina?
Well,
this is years ago.
Yeah, it's 2014 in Raleigh. Yeah. And the reason I made a big stink about it was because I was determined that I was going to win the year end, but it would be meaningless to me if I couldn't beat Brian. If I could, and I was livid at the thought that Keith would just, Keith and all these, purists would debate this. And I was like, look, I am going to overturn this, and I'm going to use every tool in my arsenal. And I made my assertion that, I defended my actions by saying, look, none of y'all have skin in the game. I am the only one who has skin in the game. I have a very good reason why I want to go up against Brian Huffman, and I can win the argument. And that's what I did. It pissed a lot of people off, and it made a lot of people laugh, but that's why I did it. And then the next year we made a pinky swear that we would all ride pro. And in 2015,
Was that for the orange grips or whatever?
That was for the orange grips. And Brian got to the spot, got like the, nervous tummy and had to poo-poo and decided that he wasn't going to ride pro. And I was livid because like we made a pinky promise. Like that's like we pinky swear.
He got
and
scared?
As I was yelling it, he does tremble when I yell at him, but he doesn't move. He stares me down.
All right.
But as I was yelling at him, I said, "What? Do you just want to win orange grips? Because that's what they put into the prize packs." And what he said was, "I don't want orange grips. I just want Manny to not have them." And Huffman was like, "Look, these kids, they're gonna have to beat me." And me. Eventually I talked him out of it and I made him live up to his word. But that's where orange.
And he rode pro. He rode pro.
He rode pro the next contest.
The next, not that one, but the next one. And Joe didn't let him live it down. So I think he kind of had to.
Yeah, I think he invested in like hundreds and hundreds of pairs of orange grips.
Joe did that as well.
Yeah, that's a true story, actually.
From Flatland Fuel, I hope.
Yeah. I was telling Pat, I was like, "Look, can I buy a bunch of orange grips from you, and then you put them into every one of Brian's orders?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, but buy these, and they're like 50 cents a piece. They're like motorcycle ones. And so I ordered
awesome.
like 500 grips.
Wow.
I know the ones you're talking about.
I'm still getting them.
The Renfrew ones. Do you remember that bar with the plastic crossbar? You remember that, Todd?
Yeah, awesome. I do.
Yeah, those grips. Oh my God, the worst grips of all time.
So are those grips still going in the packages?
I believe so.
Wow.
One of Brian Huffman's. And like sometimes when I'll see Brian, I'll come back and there will be orange grips in my
they're indestructible, those grips, the ones I'm talking about. They're probably still going today.
Oh, I'm sure. They're motorcycle grips.
That's awesome.
So speaking of grips, Joe, I think you need to touch on Bob Harrow's latest bike, because I did talk to Bolgens about that, about why that color.
I'll bring this up.
And he didn't really have a good answer.
There is no good answer.
We need to kind of ask Bob, like, where is his mind? I know that he's.
I have issued. Yeah,
John doesn't work for Haro anymore, though.
No, I know, but he basically, that's what he said. He's like, I don't know, but the grips are supposed to be this what Joe calls the bruised hand color. But he's not sure if they're gonna come through with it. But Bob,
I think Bob about it in some podcast yesterday.
Yeah, the Brant Moore one where he was saying that if he can't color match it, he doesn't want to do it.
Wait, say that again. I couldn't hear it. What?
Oh, he talked about the grips a little bit, that Brant Moore podcast that he did yesterday or day before.
And what did he say about it?
What did he say?
Something about like they used to be like flip-flopped.
Right.
Yellows on the end of there, and then but they did I guess Bob Harrow told him that no, the ones I rode were red and yellow, not yellow and red. So they worked out some deal with Oakley to have ODI make the other grips or something. I guess ODI is making the grips.
ODI is making Oakley knockoff.
The Oakley knockoff grips for the Bob Harrow.
And Bob was trying to match the color from back in the day, what he used to run. There you have it, Joe.
Yeah, John was saying that he's had trouble with a couple of things, Dave, like the color of one of the Haro frames wasn't exact, and McCoy was like, it's not the right color, and he's like, it's the nearest I can get to it, like, so
yeah. Joe,
because it was missing something. I forget off the top of my head what it was, but
well, John has done an amazing job, though. You have to admit, like
my question is, what's going to happen now? He's gone. Is Mateus still going to be on there, or will he be off?
I don't know that specific. I can't imagine that Mateus would no longer ride for Haro. Like, that doesn't seem like any change is coming. But John, I know John has started his own company as of this year.
What is it called?
Consulting.
Lineage.
Lineage Consulting.
Yeah,
Is-
and the first bike that he's going to do is a Hutch.
Hutch Trickstar, yeah. He was talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's got other ones. Yeah, other ones in the works.
Talker.
So
He's got
that's
Talker
exciting.
too.
Wow.
What's that?
Talker, Redline. He's talking
Torque
to a bunch of people, yeah.
Yeah, the Torque
maybe
deal is
Skyway.
maybe
He might
Skyway.
have said Skyway, yeah.
I
And
think he
maybe
did say
GT.
Skyway.
What he explained to me is the difference is that Hutch is basically saying, okay, we want to hire you, we want to do this bike, Trickstar. The other companies, they're basically saying we don't have a budget. So John, you want to take this on and basically create the whole bike and
They want to
sell the whole
license
bike.
it to him.
But it's way more of a project for him. And not to say he couldn't make it successful, but it's a lot harder to pull that off unless they can, budget for it.
I would love a pro modern geometry.
The what?
A pro comp with modern geometry.
Dyno.
Would
You
love it.
could you could get that fabricated.
I've seen
Good
one.
code.
So someone made something just not through GT. And then they put stickers
We
on it.
Bicycles, yeah, Dylan.
Yeah, he did a pro freestyle tour that looks awesome.
Yeah.
George Taniak, is it? Or Tiniak has a GTS tube with modern geometry, and it's got like a modern.
That might be the one that Dylan did.
Yeah,
Oh,
and the Ramon dude, he has like a pro GT freestyle tour, I think it is.
Here Milo?
Or how do you say his name, Todd? You know the guy I'm talking about? Ramon Lopez, is it?
Yeah, it's Ramon. Ramon is
Ramon, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is he from?
Puerto Rico, I thought.
Yeah, Puerto Rico. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have seen that one. Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
have a modern.
It's
He's
like
coming.
electric blue.
Yeah.
It's cool.
He'll be at Jam Circle. He read.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking of the same Ramon, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Dave, a writer in Oregon, has one too. It's a pro freestyle tour, modern geometry. Greg, it's a pink one. Greg.
Greg. Portland? Is he from Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of his last name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he has one also, a pink GT that's super cool looking.
Hey, Joe, you're going to have to ask Ray one question just because he'll fall asleep here short.
I want to know why you're wearing a hat for the third time in a row. Is something going on?
Because I'm not in character anymore, so I'm wearing a hat now. I don't have to be in character.
All
So
right.
He was an anti-Hathite.
Where'd Carlo go? Was Carlo on for?
yeah, he left.
Yeah.
He was.
He left.
Yeah, he went away.
Hey,
Did
Dave,
he
you
explain
should.
what happened?
Dave should go in your horror leathers like every episode.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
the helmet.
Yeah, no
Dave-
more characters, but I got to wear the helmet and the leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Hector, you said it. You said it.
Hey, I got to run in a little bit. Did y'all have any other questions for us? Or I appreciate y'all even giving us this time,
Fuck
bro.
Hector, get the fuck out of here. Hector.
Yeah, get out. Hector, I just have to say, I really appreciate the idea of the jam circle because that's what I grew up with. At Mission Beach, nobody did different pockets. We all rode at one spot.
Mhm.
And that's where the magic happened. So I can imagine that's what's gonna, come out of this
I
event.
hope so.
It's gonna be
Hey,
amazing.
man, do you have any pictures of that?
I can probably find some.
Man, if you find some, I'd love to see those and like share them.
Yeah. I'll have
Okay.
to dig up.
the Golden Gate scene too.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Golden
They,
Gate.
they, they used
Okay.
to do the jam circle.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Was
Yeah,
their
I-
style. So if
I
you
experienced that, lucky
Google-
enough to see it.
Yeah. If you
Okay.
Google like Golden Gate, Maurice Meyer,
Dave Van der Speck.
Oleg Konigs, Dave Vanderspek. If you Google those folks, you'll see some of those
Okay.
big Carl Roth, those big jam circles that are like 5-6 riders deep, Hector, and they're like amazing shots.
Well, because I remember it too, just when in the 80s, like it was kind of like that, even in like right before like if a show was coming through the city and like the
Yeah.
GT team was
Yeah.
coming, there was
Yeah.
always that, and it ended up happening. So
Exactly.
Well,
yeah.
at the beach, there used to be skateboarders like doing street and flatland, and break dancers, roller skaters, and freestyle BMX flatland,
all together.
and it was all together. And it was even a
squatting.
little bit of street riding too, because Pete Augustine would always be doing like big old like 180, like super fast 180 off the curb and try to like crash into the crowd on purpose, and like and then just give him a mean look, like what the hell are you doing, you know?
That's tight.
And so it wasn't just, it was freestyle. Like at that time we just called it freestyle, but
Yeah.
it's the same kind of feeling.
All right. I like it. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Like, I just want to, the best way to describe this is just a big flatland party for the whole weekend. Everything that we're doing, man, I'm trying to do it in a way that makes everybody feel welcome and come together and feel included. So like even the last day, I want to host coffee and brunch here at the coffee shop, and just everybody's welcome, man.
Awesome.
So
That sounds wonderful.
cool.
Flatland
And-
lifestyle.
and we're gonna have biscuits and of Flatland Matters.
Good.
Right here.
Do,
You need to have tea as well.
do you have a biscuit? What is
No.
what is a biscuit anyway? It's a crack, like a cookie.
It's a cookie.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, and then for brunch we're gonna have the little one egg that you like break open like that.
And some
Is
chips.
that a British thing?
No, not really.
Ephraim
The
right
egg-
now,
the egg
and
on a
Ephraim's
stand.
mind right now, he's like, man, fuck Hector. All
Hey
right,
Hector,
man.
you should get the times though, the run times out posted so people can start to practice and know what times, because that's essential.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do too is we're gonna nail down just the basic format, and then the actual contest, like what time each thing will.
Yeah.
And then everything in there between will just be jam and have fun. But yeah.
Oh,
you'll
I
be-
have a question.
Okay.
Yeah. So a couple of folks were talking about, they saw a $3,000 prize
Mhm.
purse, and what was not clear was the length of the runs and stuff like that. So how does that $3,000 get split up amongst all the riders? Does it own like
It'll be
$29.99 go to first place, and then
so
second?
so I mean, and here's any input you want to give, but
Sure.
we're thinking of just paying top 3 pro.
Mhm.
So like if you have $3,000, first place will get like 1,500. Second, help me with my math. Second place will get 8, 9.
Well, it would go 1,500. You have $3,000.
I wrote it. I wrote it down.
1,500 or something.
Yeah.
2,000, 1,000. Well, yeah. Anyway,
We know what you're saying. Yeah.
descending.
Yeah, we'll break it
Just-
up where it
Just
makes
hand
sense.
the money to Dave and let him divvy it out. He'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
And we're
Great,
gonna
that kind of stuff.
pay everybody in ones. Like it'll be like a
So
little
big old
suitcase.
bag. You just get your bag of ones.
You know what? I might really try to make that happen. Like something
would
Why
like
be
don't
that.
really
you do
cool.
that? Something
Like a
funny.
suitcase just full of ones.
You're going to give them all 1,000 biscuits.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go.
There you go. dude. But yeah, man, anytime you have questions about anything, like message me if you have any thoughts, or like, hey, can you share this info? Like I'm open, bro. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
It's so cool that you're doing this, man.
Cool.
That's so good.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm
Awesome.
excited.
Yeah, me too, man. It's been good. Today, here's something cool. Today or yesterday through Jerry Milbourne and like Steve Lapsey, they've been great just helping on the back end.
Mhm.
But through Jerry, a friendship that he made, we got like an anonymous donation. He doesn't want us to even share, like,
I know who it is, but yeah, that's
And
very
he-
cool.
and he's helping, man, it's covering 2 big like expenses for the event that'll like
Yeah.
really help.
That's
So
awesome.
That's awesome.
and that's just some guy, like he has his own business. He's not even a company. He doesn't want us to share his name. He just believes in it. And then he's even offered, the last thing is like, hey, I don't know if there's registration fees for the kids, the Groms, but I'll cover all their registration. They were going to be free. They were going to be free anyway, but maybe he can help us. I really would love to give the Groms like first place, just like some kind of complete bike or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure that out.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So Dave, I was talking with Jerry and Hector earlier this week, and I was like, "Why don't you guys come on?" And Jerry goes, "Joe, what are the demographics of your show?" And I go, "What you actually should be asking about are the psychographics of the show." And I broke down like the types of people, and then Jerry is getting impatient and he goes, "Is it a bunch of old dudes? Because we want young people at the contest." And then I go into like Professor Joe like lecturing. I'm like,
yeah,
let me tell you where the money comes from.
Yeah.
And I just laid on it. I think that's probably why Jerry decided he didn't want to come on here. He's like,
no,
I know I can click the link, but I'm going to type password.
Oh my gosh!
I think I intimidated Jerry Milbourne. Yeah.
Well, some of these old guys will bring some young blood. Like that's my intention. I'm trying to.
Well, what I told them was, the old men watch this show, and then their wives go to see the topless young men riding. And I was like, make sure that you get Tyler out there.
Tyler, yeah.
And that's when the money comes.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's where the money comes.
He really was trying to log in through a PC laptop, and he said he was having trouble. He called his laptop a piece of shit. And then he's like, "Oh, it's too late." I don't know. But no, I'm glad you got on him.
Story better.
Your story sounds good.
But like I looked at the stats and they are,
yeah,
they're not.
We try to get
people who.
Oh yeah, I mean, all of us know like the average age of most Flatlanders right now is us.
Yeah.
40, 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
With a lot of money, reloaded.
Loaded.
I see. You see right there, Dave Norrie. I know that those files behind you are just all the money that is owed out.
Dave's loaded. He's got properties everywhere.
Yeah. All those files.
Loaded, guys. I'm not loaded. I have some investment properties. I'm not loaded.
He's got Skyway grabbers in different states. Love it.
Not all money is, or not all commodity is money based. Dave has the Rolodex that you would not imagine. I mean, the people that will pick up the phone when Dave Norrie calls.
Like right now, you could get any of those guys
exactly
on the show.
Exactly. Dave can call. Yep.
Can you get Mike Escamilla on here?
I don't know. Maybe
have his contact.
Do you know TJ Lavin?
Oh shit.
Ray does.
Ray does, yeah.
Ray does.
Call him up, Ray. Let's see. Prove it.
He'll come on in 2 seconds.
He will. He will.
TJ ain't doing nothing.
He's been on before, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Does TJ still have those dirt jumps behind his house?
Yeah. And a foam pit. He probably doesn't ride them much though.
Who did he ride for? Like Redline or something like that?
Specialized and Huffy, I think.
Okay.
Damn. Specialized was the main one.
He might have been.
Huh.
I remember Specialized. But
yeah, Specialized for sure.
All right, man. I got to run, guys. But man, you guys are awesome.
Hector.
All right, Hector. Good luck with the event.
See you in a month or so.
Yeah, I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Take care. Thank you.
Peace.
Hector is so much fun.
Yeah, we love Hector. Hey, so Joe, can I just want to make sure I can be in character when I'm on site, right? I mean, we no more.
You're never in character ever again. I can't.
No, on site. No, I thought we could. Because I want to go as an old. I want to dress as an old man. So when I see Jerry, I come rolling out.
What are you talking about? Dress like an old man?
No, I want to make it really like gray my hair.
That's like me saying I want to put on a fat suit and go somewhere.
No,
I want to dress like an old man.
Grow my beard out gray.
Oh my God.
Get my hair grayed. and wear like, like, I don't know, old man clothes and like
no,
come out with a
just wear
walker?
that suit that you wore on the Spike show and you'll
Yeah.
just,
Oh, that one? Okay.
Yeah, the preacher suit.
oh my gosh.
But don't you think I should do something for Jerry, in the support of the old Flatlanders?
Look, honestly, I did have a word with Jerry about this ageism.
Okay.
It was really funny. It was really funny. No, I don't think that you need to make yourself look older.
Okay.
I guess like you look the right old. You don't look
right. The right amount of old.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it would take a lot to credibly dress up like an old man. Like when Johnny Knoxville did that for Bad Grandpa, that was like a lot of work. You can't just show up with like funny nose glasses and have people believe you. I mean, like maybe back in the day when Godzilla movies were a puppet, but we have like very elaborate special effects these days, and people.
Yeah, you'd have to do the full-on makeup and like have one of those things that you put, that face over, do a whole new face over, that kind of thing.
Yes.
How can Joe make you look any worse than what he already does?
Oh, yeah, good point, Ephraim. Good point. Yeah.
How can he do that?
Me to do that. He paid me to do that. You know that, like, that Dave paid or traded me to be his hard as nails life coach.
Yeah, and you needed that, Dave.
And we finally threw in the towel. Like last week, we're like, I can't.
I feel like Large Ray's the one cracking the whip here. He's the silent, like do as you're told.
Ray's been pretty quiet today.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just trying to follow. Where's Hector's jam he's having? Where is it?
Houston,
California. Oh, Houston. Oh man, we could drive to that, Joe. I'll pick you up.
I know.
Let's go.
17
when is it?
Hours.
When is it?
February 10th and 12th.
Oh. He
Chris and I
got my attention.
Yeah, we're gonna road trip it.
He got my attention when he said coffee. I was like, wait a minute, there we go. It used to, like, back in the 80s, it was strippers, now it's coffee. And I'm like, whoa, now we're talking. Goddamn piping hot coffee at a Flatland jam, I'm in.
Good.
There we go.
And
so
there's
wait,
gonna be a lot of dudes.
So Carlo just flexed his 10 million followers and then he hung up.
Yeah, he hit me up. No, he works for a sheriff's department and he had to go arrest someone.
Oh,
for riding their bike in public property, probably.
Probably a street rider. Yeah,
he had to go arrest somebody. Why couldn't he have brought us along? That would have been great, man. I love cops.
I know.
We could do that with Brian. Brian would do that with us.
Brian Bliver, yeah, I was just thinking that.
We could do that. He would do a drive. He would do a drive.
He's done. He doesn't. He's
not quite. Not quite.
He's done. He's done. He's not. He ain't taking anybody on a ride along. He got to tiptoe out of there quietly.
He can pull some strings, Ray. I mean, he's been
dude. If he does a ride along, if he took me and Rodney on a ride along, it'd be the first time he'd get shot at. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Rodney be playing with the guns. I'd be on the radio calling in airstrikes.
Playing with sirens.
What's this button do? I'd be on the phone with the guy in the helicopter dropping bombs, man.
I know he took Wilkerson. I know he did drive along with Wilkerson.
Really?
Quite the experience.
I bet.
I could only imagine.
Did they roll the police car?
Probably.
Okay.
Welcome back, Todd. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Can we get an update on Circle of Balance? I mean, we heard about some of this stuff, but Dave, what was your? Did anyone else tell you anything secret?
It wasn't secret. Well, are you talking about Dub? Dub just
I shouldn't have meant secret. Did anyone else tell you anything sensational?
Sensational.
What other sensational? Yeah, give us the good sensational stuff.
We were we were really entertained by watching you and Art have conversations like behind the rider. So it was like a lot of fun. We were like, oh, Dave's totally enjoying this. Dave's totally into these combos. And then there were times that you would like, your mind was blown, and you and Art would just be like, you know, hands in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was intense. We were right at the front, Dave, weren't we?
Yeah. Ethan was just one person over too. And Chad came up right before the main event and said, just wait. Seeing this live, it's like you don't even know what's coming. So like setting that up from Chad, it was like the excitement level was just raising. And it was cool how everyone just piled in. I mean, it was a packed audience. And Scott is always an amazing on the mic, you know, just pumping everybody up. He had everybody stand at the final battle. The final battle was not really, I mean, all the other battles was really where everything went down. I don't know, Ethan, what do you think about the final battle? It felt a little bit lackluster, in my opinion.
I think Dub was more focused than everybody else. That's my what I noticed from where we were sitting, is that he was the one guy that really zoned in and had the game face. I feel like, I mean, with the exception of you, which those two met in the final, I think that you kind of just outrid himself a little bit. He kind of, I think if you just had one battle, he would have won the contest. But to have 4 so quickly, it's hard. And, you know, he was one-upping himself every time. The only other guy that was one-upping himself was Dub, and that's why he won.
Yep. And it seemed like I mean, watching some of his first battles was just unbelievable to see his combo.
Yeah, I mean, from when I've seen you compete, I think that what I noticed is when the pressure's on, he does make a little bit of mistakes. But when he's not so worried about a rider, he will just ride flawless. Like it's just unbelievable. I mean, you saw it. It's like effortless.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying to you. Like, we were talking about it earlier, weren't we? Like, you were asking trick names, or somebody was it Joe asking trick names? I don't think that he was doing anything new trick position wise, but the switches are brand new. Like, as new as they can be anyway, because you've got to dial them in for a big event like that. There's no way you can go in there cold like that. And one thing I did like that was that Dub did his like signature, the 2-footed pedal forward death truck. He did it around the circle of balance as if to say, I've got balance. I thought that was really cool, little detail.
I thought he called it a forklift. Isn't that a forklift?
Yeah.
Okay,
if he
I'm just trying to get names right. I'm just trying to get names right.
Yeah.
Forklift,
Dub has quite a way with words. His acceptance speech from his first Nora Cup win in Voodoo Jam was exceptionally well crafted.
It's from the heart, I think. You know, he's fighting, and you could see that. And I could see that he was a lot more focused than everybody else. That's just kind of, it's cheesy to say, but I think he wanted it more than everybody else. Be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say it was hunger. It was hunger. You could tell he was just, I mean, he was there, present. He was present.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised with some of the guys didn't throw like anything new. That's one thing I was kind of expecting, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. The other thing about Dub is that right before the contest, that's when he was just goofing around with me and Sensei, and we're just playing this game. Like his attention was just like, I was trying to be respectful. Like they were riding and I didn't want to go over there and start riding with them. And I asked him, I said, it was just, you know, because they were playing a game where you had to ride your trick and you couldn't duplicate the trick. So you had to do as much tricks as you could. If you didn't pull it, you get a second chance and then you're out. That's why I didn't want to step out of the Gumby.
And you messed it up with that Gumby.
And I totally, not only did I mess up, I mean, I just, the worst ever.
Yeah, it made an earthquake in New Orleans.
Yeah, but the point is that Dub was so like carefree and just having fun with it, you know. And I was just,
I think that was about taking the pressure off, I feel, and staying warm, because you were there, Dave. If you didn't warm up in that area, realistically, you're thinking that if you were in that lower bracket, you probably wouldn't ride for an hour and a half. That's a long time.
That's a long time. Yep. It's a good
Going
point.
cold. And I think that was just about, staying warm,
Yeah.
Marty would train for cold start.
Yeah. Well, you're
For
talking
X
about
Games.
the king. Yeah. The boss.
Mhm.
That's why
The
I called
boss,
him the
yeah.
boss.
Mhm.
Look
Oh,
up
I
that
did have
run.
a conversation with the boss, and I asked him about if he's riding, and he said he's not, and
No.
he's okay with it. He
Yeah.
said he's got to a
Told
point
me
where,
the same. Yeah.
yeah, he feels like at one point he was struggling with the fact that he wasn't riding as much, and now he's content with it.
He
And
told me that he couldn't have fun just doing a hang five, and that if he's going to go in, he's going to go in. And
Right.
but he did say to me that he feels like he wants to ride again. That's what he told me. So Marty's Marty. He'll just come
Yeah.
back and
Yeah, he's not out. He's content with where he's at.
he's done so much though. That guys, that's the thing. The guy's done everything. Like
He was
everything.
all right. So Ephraim was telling me this the other day, and it blew my mind because Marty did video parts, contests, new tricks. Tell him, Ephraim.
During I
give
know
him a
what you're
list.
talking about. During the era of when he won the 3X Games back to back, he also dropped 3 of the most progressive video parts of all time. And those video tricks were not in the contest. And the stuff in the contest was ahead of what everybody else was doing. That's unheard of in Flatland history. No one else. Somebody else is doing the trick in a video and then going to the contest and doing it, not the other way around.
Right.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. So that's why I called him the boss. For me, like it's like Flatland Utopia. The ultimate Flatlander can do video parts and contests. It's different people contribute different things, but he contributed, I think, the work ethic to make people realize the guys like Terry, Matt Wilhelm, Toon, people that train this 5 in a row thing. Justin Miller, this comes from Marty. That's where that comes from. That wasn't there. I don't think that was there like that in the past until Marty. I don't think it was. I think people just rode and had their method, obviously to be consistent, but I would just hear people when I asked what people do, I just ride a lot. And no, like it's structured, there's process behind it, But I think Marty, what he also brought to the table is he took a risk. Like I was talking to him about when I used to compete against him, I recognized that the critical point of his run was the steamroller kickflip to crap pack. And I always used to say to Phil, if he lands it, it's game over. He's won the whole contest every time. If not, we got a chance. And it was always like that. Like always, I'd literally be like glued. This is
it's kind of the barometer of whether or not he was on.
Yeah, well, I think it was the riskiest thing. You can't save that trick. Like I think it's impossible.
There's no save.
Yeah. There's no safety net, and I respect him for that. And he messed it up at the Worlds that year. What year was that?
2004.
It would have been like the first year he won the X Games. I forget what year that was. Was it around 2000, 2001 when he first did the blender on the green Quaman?
Yeah,
anyway, he rode the Cologne event.
2000.
He rode the Cologne event on a blue Quaman, then went to San Francisco and drilled that trick over and over. You could tell he had. I didn't see him mess it at all the whole week, and then this game over. And then that whole period just ran. You're all quiet.
Here we go. Let's pull this up.
Yeah, what year was it, Joe?
if this is the one that you're talking about, and
No,
this
that's
is
the best.
one,
That's for me. That's the best run of all time. That's a different thing.
oh,
So this was
Cool.
before this. He's on a green Qualman. That's Cologne.
I want to say 2000, maybe even 99.
Yeah, 99, 2000. That's what I was going to say.
It was in San Francisco.
Yeah. Dave Smith is on the ESPN broadcast saying he blew it out of the park or something like that. That's what he says.
This is the year I rode for Chad DeGroot. Same year.
Were you riding a Deco then?
is this it?
No, I rode
No,
for
that's
Chad
King.
DeGroot.
That's where I live.
You want to?
Oh, that's King of Concrete. I'm sorry.
Just type in X Games Flatland. It'll come up.
Dave, what company was that when you say Chad?
Oh, it's not.
Chad
coming
rode
up.
for Haro,
Yeah.
and he didn't qualify, and he was so bummed. And I said, "I'll ride for you." So he gave me his jersey, and I
I'm
rode
going to look
for-
for you, Joe.
for him.
Thank you.
Gosh, I would love to see video of that, Dave. I didn't remember that.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
So in '99 at the X Games, I had just moved to Oregon, and I came down actually with one of the riders I was training with, and Chad had just finished his run and he didn't qualify, and he was super bummed. And then he told me that all the riders that didn't qualify have to go back out there and do another run to see how bad the losers are going to lose. And he was really bummed.
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
I was in that
there.
one. Yeah.
I was at this.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, well, Chad, why don't you just have me ride for you? And he's like, oh, no, he just kind of blew it off. And then I saw him again, right as he's
There it is.
come
There
back.
it is. You went the one with Nathan. There, you've gone past it. No,
So
go
What
up.
is the
anyhow,
title of it?
Go up. It's there. It's right there.
Finale?
2000. It's 2000.
Okay.
So you already watched some of it.
So anyhow, Ephraim, what happened was I finally convinced him, and he said, well, will you ride my bike? I go, no, I snuck my bike in. He's took his jersey off, and I just put his jersey on and his hat. And I went out there and I did all my old school tricks as Chad.
That's
And
amazing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And apparently Haro was not very pleased.
Yeah, they were pissed.
I think Tony D was the,
I was
Team
on Haro
manager.
back then. Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Did you get a memo about
Impersonating.
riders are expected that if you make a contest run, you should not have Dave Norrie dress in your uniform and do your run for you? Like, was that an HR rule at Haro?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
Okay, let's see
amazing.
this. Let's
Wow.
see this.
It'd be towards the end because he won.
They probably thought
Well,
you were wearing
I-
your old man costume there.
I don't know if they would. They showed the kickflip to. They showed the blender and something else.
Is everything working okay for you, Joe?
Yeah, everything's working okay for me. That's the one that he says has no safety net.
It's for whatever reason it's not updating on my screen.
Yeah, I can't see it.
No, it's just stuck on Trevor on mine.
It seems like
Oh,
maybe you have to
sorry.
refresh it, Joe. It's
Trevor
Okay.
broke his back axle right before his second run. I want to say.
I was just wasting everybody's time. I'm sorry about that.
oh
Oh, I know what's up. I went into full screen mode like a
oh
Here you go, Blender. He bought the tie-dye shirt in a thrift store just round the corner from the event. It's so funny. And I was
Oh,
like,
really?
I thought it was a Qualman top. I'm like, oh my, he does do the. Is it a kickflip? Yeah, he does do it right here.
right here.
Boom.
there it is.
Yeah.
It's
Onto
just
the
so
sofa.
sick.
So it's over.
Yep. Straight out to the pedals. Boom.
Wow.
And then it's the CrossFit half hiker to half packer. Oh no, he doesn't. He does the hang five jump. Is this where he crashed right at the end of the run? Yeah, and then he comes back and they show the drama. The ESPN like to show the drama. I think Steingraber was in the lead right as this happened. They shoot to Steingraber, I'm sure.
Oh.
Right there, he's saying, I will do harder tricks in the second run. And I think that's what he brought to the table, like
Yeah.
guns blazing or get out.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I expected of the circular balance, and there's only a few guys that did it. That's
Right.
what I was saying. Like Nathan, back wheel master.
Do you how long ahead did the guys know? Most of the guys know they were going to be competing. Like, was it really that you got 3 weeks, or
what for the circular balance?
Yeah.
I believe that those guys knew way before I was going to the event, so probably a few months.
Mm-hmm.
But like Mickey was the day before, so
Yeah.
See that's the move that all the back wheel guys are copying now. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
But obviously without the foot on the tire, but 22 years to not have the foot on the tire, basically.
Yeah.
Wow. The boss.
Trevor rode really good here, but he scored kind of low. I was surprised. I remember being surprised.
Was he on a fixie at that time?
No. Farris messed up here, I feel like. He had trouble with the whopper all the time. The half cab one. You remember that, Todd?
Yeah,
I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah,
it might even be here.
There it is.
Yeah, he could
never. There it is.
I remember that he never really pulled it convincingly, I would say.
You mean he got squirrely?
Yeah, it wasn't legit. Not like Mulder. Mulder just, oh man. Powerhouse.
Yeah,
that was cool. I appreciated the shout out to Mulder during
Mulder. For me, I used to be embarrassed to beat Mulder at those events. It was wrong. The guy was incredible.
He always was, for whatever reason, never judged as well as I thought he should have been.
Yeah.
I feel like he did the one hit bangers before everybody, and like everybody's talking about the bike flips now. Mulder, as we discussed on the Flat Snitches episode, he did that shit like 97, 98, 90.
Yeah, I mean fully. Yeah.
I remember him showing it to me when he first learned them in 97 in Indiana.
Steingraber rode so good here, like the transitions, brakeless, so clean, and the way he executed all the combos, man, I was sure he was in the league going into the before Marty rode, sure of it.
I always felt like he was underrated in the States.
Who's that? Steingraber?
Yeah, people didn't pay a ton of it. At least in my crowd, people didn't pay a lot of attention to him.
Dude, that's crazy in a comp backwards into half packer like that. No one's doing that.
Yep.
Dylan's trick. There's Big Phil, Joe.
Let me walk in front of the camera.
I knew you were going to say that.
I can't wait to meet him finally.
You've never met him?
Apologize for years and years. I've been tagging him with people walking in front of the camera.
Tell me what he said again, Joe. Tell me what he said, Joe.
He just goes, he goes, "You're such a bore." The only thing that Phil Dolan has ever said to me, and it was like 4 years in to these memes.
I could literally hear him. Here we go.
Well.
I mean, I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I just like laughing just a little bit more, but I still have tremendous respect for him. I just can't change my sense of humor for anyone.
Oh, they edited that
There
so bad.
There you go. Yeah.
They edited it so badly out to the little scarf.
Why do they cut to other riders? Does that?
I do not.
I think that was Steingraber's in the lead, and they were trying to show some emotion, I guess. There you go.
Oh. Yeah.
I do not miss ESPN's way of covering Flatland.
That run was so much better than what they actually just showed, though.
Showed us, yeah.
And that was like the changing of the guard right there. For like, I feel like the changed the game forever, actually.
This is powerful to watch, even with no sound and through Joe's screen. It's good stuff.
It is good.
I mean, how many times have we watched it?
I know.
And this is good too, because this is the kind of
He
content
blew it out
that's
the
really
park.
good.
That's what he said, Dave Smith. And Marty unveiled the front wheel Undertaker there. Do you remember that one, Todd, where he did the Circle K, grabs the tire, and then
people are still people are still trying to figure that one out today, even.
Yep.
With the peg on the ground, right?
Yeah. The dyno peg on the ground, if you want to be precise, Joe.
Wait, who was that did that?
Marty.
Oh, okay.
He did it first. Yeah, it's his trick.
Without a bar end extender.
No, without a bar.
No
Really?
Skyway grabber in sight.
Nothing. What else do you have for us, Joe?
Let me make sure that we got through all of the topics.
I know you had a lot this episode.
And
if
Joe
Eddie
yawned,
joins
by the way.
We didn't even
Joe
get into
yawned
Red
and
Bull
did it
Circular
with his
Balance.
hand. I just want to let everybody know that.
I feel like
Joe
we got away
yawned.
from Circular Balance though. But
We did get away from Circle of Balance. I was going to have Eddie and his Eclair review the zine. Eddie, so last week when we shot the episode to get the new intro, like several hours later, I get a notification and it says, your new Factor Freestyle Zoom recording is ready. And I'm like, what is this? And I go on and it's just Eddie sitting in front of the camera.
Didn't he look like he was like a maintenance guy at like the Antarctic Circle like thing where those people go up for like a year? He was like dressed in like total winter clothes with all this like just like supplies in the background. It was like I was waiting for him to go out and go out and fix a snowmobile for a scientist so they could go get like go get a whale tooth or something. That's what it looked like. He's all bundled up, man.
Yeah.
It has been cold in Los Angeles lately, so
that's not cold.
I don't know about cold. Yeah.
58 degrees is cold out there for those.
It ain't cold. What are we watching now?
Natives.
Eddie
There it
Fiola.
is.
Look.
This is what
look, picture this. Okay, we're here live at the in the Arctic Circle, and we got our maintenance man Slippy McDougal here, but he's got every filter and every spark plug for the he's in charge of all the snowmobiles. So he's gonna look at that jacket. It's like 9 layers of Kevlar. Like, what's going on? Like
Okay, Ephraim, what else did you want to cover as far as the Circle of Balance? Because you sound like you weren't complete there.
No, I was asking you, Sure God, Joe. Like, what did you think of it? Like, watching it, like, I thought it was so intense. It's crazy contest.
Yeah, it was. We had a watch party. We had Powell on.
You told me that,
yeah, and we watched it. Like Nitschke was on, Todd, and was
he losing his shit over Jimlin? Was he?
He was.
I already know without even watching it.
The rollback to
the scooter rollback,
yeah. So he went off on that. Typical, as you would expect, Scott Powell about anything in Alex Jimlin's run. But yeah, it was a ton of fun, and we were trying to figure out like what Frank Lucas was doing.
Yeah, did you notice the judge's call that I pointed out to you or not?
Oh, let's ask these other guys. Let me find.
So what I told Joe, guys, is if you pay attention to the judges, I was like, right, there's no judges sheet. That's weird. And then I was like watching it. They all got their hands on their knees, and then I noticed that they would change their hand left to right And then I was like, hang on, that's the red decision, and the left is, I think it was the blue decision. And I was like, did you see that, Joe? And he's like, no.
Yeah, I hadn't picked it up.
I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see, I guess, but I noticed it when I was there. You could sort of see it.
And so that was like their running tally of who would win.
Yeah, they had like one side was blue or red.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't listen to a lot of the announcers, but occasionally they would kind of come through, and I think maybe that's where we heard, or they knew who was kind of leading, so they would occasionally mention, "Oh, so and so's in the lead."
I thought it was a good way to do it, actually, because if you were, say, behind, and you knew you were behind,
sure,
there's some battles where the guys really came back. Like, I was talking to Dub about it, and he felt like it didn't really suit him, and I'm like, actually, it really suits you, because you've got extra gears to go, and if the guys play safe, they're out.
Yeah.
If you like I said to everybody, you got to get in the ring, or there's no point.
Hey,
that's why I was kind of surprised a lot of guys didn't have a surprise trick. You know, it was the biggest comp of the year, and I was like,
they were playing it safe.
Yeah, I think they were just doing the one thing. I have trouble with the battle riding, just personally, is that everyone's just doing their regular contest run in order. Trick one, trick two, like. Whereas I see the Japanese guys like you and even Dub, they react to the other rider. That is battle riding.
Right.
That is hard to be at that level, to react to what that person does. But ultimately, that's what it is.
That's what a battle is. I mean, you step it up. You see that, you know.
Yeah, but you don't see that, Dave. And like, it's pretty interesting that you had that the jam circle thing with Hector. To me, that's what a jam circle is as well, is that you would react to what somebody else did and get ideas and do. But what I would imagine would happen is that everyone's just going to do what they're already doing, which is fine, but
it's not a real battle. It's not in the spirit of a battle.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Joe. It's like
I know exactly what you're saying, because that's.
I mean, it's like if you're just. Like if it were a real battle and you were just doing like the battle robots, like you just had one thing that you would throw back, but in a real fight.
Yeah, I always wondered about saying to the riders, right, the MC is gonna pick a trick, and then you have to interpret the trick. I think that would be really cool. And also, we were joking around and like do away with the qualifying and just have whiplashes for seeding. So whoever does the most whiplashes qualifies first.
Wow.
I would like that one.
Someone said, yeah, but I don't ride the back. I don't ride the front wheel. I'm like,
front wheel. Yeah,
it's flatland. It's flatland. Like,
oh, man.
That would be super fun.
Okay, let's look at the judges there. So what do you?
Yeah, what I noticed, because I could, you know, I was phone videoing with the phone, but I was looking. And you could see their hand would move, and I'm like, hold on, that's how they're making the decision, quick. Because Frank would always look over, and I'm like, why is he looking over? There doesn't appear to be a decision, but there was. It's just very subtle without showing it to the audience, obviously.
Right, so it wasn't just Frank making that decision for that first round.
No, it's judges.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for.
Hey, Ephraim, did he put stuff on that part of the floor?
I didn't notice that until you said that to me, didn't you?
Yeah, I forget.
Maybe because I feel like the floor was perfect, and then everyone was messaging me whilst it was on. The floor's slippery. I'm like, maybe because they had all that, the lights and the you could see the kind of effect of the lights having there. Maybe it made it slightly dusty. Maybe
they cooked it or something.
Yeah, because the floor was literally perfect. Like
That's what when Matt rode, that's when I suspected something was going on with the floor.
Yeah, Matt was riding incredible in practice. Yeah, I wondered the same. I mean, really, you'd have to ask one of the guys that was riding the floor. I did sort of do like a little test on the floor, but afterwards I was just like, curious, but I couldn't say to you it was dusty, but it's fine margins, I think, when you're going as fast as Matt does.
Yeah, for sure.
And also Matt gets a little bit in his head. I feel like he got a little bit in his head, and he did the same in Abu Dhabi. So
did he bite himself?
Yeah, I think he got in his head too much about it, and he just needs to do Matt, because incredible rider.
Yeah.
What he did at Bentonville was so great.
This is so strange watching my website on here. I feel like I've logged into my site, but I'm like, I can't click on.
You're watching your own footage on your own site on someone else's computer.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite nice for me, Joe, just to be there to cover it for the site for Flat Matters.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy not judging and just watching the event go down and just appreciating it as a Flatland fan, along with Dave and Art, and Bobby Burge was next to me.
Yeah,
it was really fun just to have some time out of not judging, actually.
Mm-hmm. So you judge. You are the UCI head judge.
Sometimes,
right?
Sometimes Alexi does it.
What are the responsibilities of the head judge of the UCI?
If a rider has a query or something like that, you're the person that would deal with that. You have to sign off the results, like when they're done. You have to make sure there's no ties, that kind of thing. Pretty standard things, actually.
Do you set any type of rules?
I don't personally know, just whatever the UCI want us to do. There's pretty standard stuff. They do amazing, really. We do a little judging workshop every couple of years and analyze modern day Flatland runs and make sure everybody's on the same page. They really do take a lot more care than I've ever seen anybody else do. So I think they've paved the way, really. Bart does an amazing job with it. And I'm honored sometimes to be the head judge, sometimes not, but it's the same thing. It's consistent. You've got a great team of judges, so it's good.
That's awesome.
Hey, Ephraim, have you heard about Bentonville for this coming year?
Sorry, I'll just letting my girlfriend in. Say hi to everyone, Nick.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Hey there.
Sorry, where were we, Joe?
I just was asking you if you heard anything about Bentonville, the UCI event this year. Because I messaged the UCI in Bentonville.
No, nothing about that.
You know nothing about it? Okay.
No. The next one I know about is Montpellier, which is like ages away.
What month?
That is, I want to say May. It's quite far away. That's pretty much the biggest one of the year, really, like feast-wise. There isn't a great deal. And then there's the UCI Worlds in Glasgow. That's going to be the big one. That is a whole week. I believe that's a week-long event.
Is it true that the prize purse for Abu Dhabi was $100,000?
I have no idea. I don't even look at stuff like that, Joe. I should do, but I don't even look. No idea. I don't even know what they won at Circle of Balance. I've got no idea. How much did Dub win at Circle of Balance? No idea.
I don't know.
Oh.
How do you not know that, Joe? You know everything.
Joe doesn't know everything.
And if he doesn't, Large Ray does. Large.
No, I don't know.
much?
I don't know everything. And Dave pretends to know everything.
I do not.
Todd?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much.
Todd knows everything. I think Todd knows everything. He just
He just doesn't
tell
share
everybody he
everything.
knows
He doesn't
everything.
share it all.
Yeah.
That's wild that none of us know, but I would hope he won a decent chunk there.
Me too.
I've got no idea what
Hope so.
Moto won in Abu Dhabi, but did you watch that one go down? That was incredible. Like Masato and Moto, flawless runs, amazing. And Marty was telling me when he first started coaching Masato, he wasn't consistent at all, and I was like, I just find that amazing, and it shows the value of what Marty does. It's insane.
Sure does.
Hey Dave, did you ever win any money in the pro class in the AFA days? Because they used to pay off cash money.
I only won one contest in the pro,
And
there was
you got no money.
I don't remember if it was.
Which contest was it?
It was Pleasanton, 1985, and if it was maybe $100.
Were you a pro? Did you enter pro?
Yeah, I entered pro. That was my first and only. That was my first and only win in pro.
He won orange grips.
And in Venice Beach, I got second, and that was against Woody. And Woody, I know that I just saw that in the magazine. Woody got $300 for second place, but they didn't play. I mean, for first place, they didn't pay down for second or third.
Oh, okay.
That would have been 85 Venice Beach.
Legendary contest.
Wow. Yeah, Venice Beach.
David Lee Roth was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Do
because
we have-
Bill Batchelor handed him handed him one of his magazines. I think he got a picture taken.
Oh yeah,
That's is that Diz Hicks on the cover?
Yeah.
That's a good air for Diz.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a great legendary contest. That was Scotty Freeman's first one, I think, too.
No, I don't believe so. Because I remember Huntington Beach, the one prior to that, Scotty was at.
Maybe it's the one that he got picked up by Skyway there.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
What else you got for us, Joe?
I think we may have covered it. So Eddie didn't make it.
Since it's been his show, he's only been on.
Yeah, why did you sell it to Eddie if
he
he's
bought
not
the
even part of it?
show? Because he's one of those dudes. He bought the show and he's like, I don't need to be on there anymore.
Yeah, it's like I'm done now. I bought it. I own it.
It's Dave Norrie's show again.
It's a latchkey business for him.
Dave, you
like
should try and buy it back.
Okay, let me check the file here.
I wonder if Dave could buy it back and it could be called Dave Norrie's Factor Freestyle.
Here's the certificate I got.
I thought they were vinyl records you had there. I wondered what that was.
I thought that was the deed to one of his properties.
Every one of his properties.
That's funny you said that, because this is the orchard one.
See?
Yeah.
They're all written in crayon.
What's Dave's lawyer's name?
Johnny Cochran.
Eddie was supposed to come on to explain how he pitched
Eddie doesn't
Rad,
like us anymore.
the story of his life.
Okay,
Wait,
how did
so
you
wait.
invite Eddie though? I just want to know the process, Joe. How did that go down? Like,
We have a group text, and I said, "This
It's
is
not-
when it's on."
does he respond? Does he say, "Great"? I'll see you guys."
Sometimes,
No.
sometimes.
You got to send it. Maybe it's better to send it just personal.
Look,
Personal,
I'm
like,
learning. I'm learning
It would be
how
really
to.
nice.
I'm learning
to
how to
text Eddie.
executive produce Eddie Fiola. I don't know
Wait,
these things.
did Eddie say that the Rad that we know, Eddie pitched that to them before they did it?
It is my understanding that Rad is the story of Eddie Fiola's life. I don't know who other than Eddie Fiola who would pitch Eddie Fiola's life, but I'd be like, it's someone.
Right.
Eddie had to pitch someone, and someone eventually. I mean, I don't know if Eddie pitched Rocky's wife or if someone else, but there was like, layers of concentric circles of frog bars.
You know what?
Eventually it got to Rocky's wife.
We have to find out why Eddie didn't audition for the part of Crew. He couldn't have done any worse than what that Bill Allen guy did.
Yeah,
I mean, I could have 19 whiskeys in me and probably act better than Bill Allen. You know what I mean? Like,
why don't we try to have that? I would actually really like.
I would love to
see
say that
19
you need to
whiskeys of
you need to remake
and an
Rad
act
with
off.
Large Ray.
we could.
That'd be fantastic.
And then
That
you
would
could
be
have the prize.
wondering-
You could have the prizes as orange grips. It'd be amazing.
Yeah. I would.
Here's a- like-
We could
at
do a
what-
modern day Rad. But it'd probably have to be Flatland. You know what I mean? Like that whole
Challenge of the Flatlanders. Do you remember that one?
It's not flashy enough though. It's not flashy enough.
No.
Talking about
You know
the
what I mean?
dancing.
You have to have the racing part. You know what I mean? It'd be me entering.
You have to have a big
Wait, it's in the
cereal bowl.
Olympics. No,
You could have Hell Track. It would just be that little slope that some of the riders didn't ride down at Circle of Balance.
But
Yeah.
wasn't there a giant
Yeah.
cereal bowl that
Yeah,
There was a giant
jumped out
cereal
of-
bowl.
that's the magic.
Ray has already ridden ramps at Gravity Games.
yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do anything, especially if I have a stunt double. If I have a stunt double, I can do it all. We'll get TJ to be my stunt double.
Yes.
We'll put- Or if Dave wants to
Yes.
get in a fat suit and look a little younger, he could be me. You know?
Where you have to put blocks on his feet.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Dave
get like
could look
a foot and a
6'2".
half on him.
He could look 6'2". They do it to Tom Cruise all the time. You know,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is like 5'1", but they make him look big.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we'll redo Rad.
Let's pitch
Well-
to Eddie. We're gonna redo Rad with me, and I'm gonna try and enter the Olympics. Who's my love interest gonna be? Who are we gonna get? We could have got Anna Nicole Smith, but she died. But that would have been a great one. Anna Nicole Smith being my squeeze, you know, big old Lopus like her. Rodney gets it. See, Rodney's my man. Rodney gets it, man. He knows. He sees the humor.
Lori Loughlin, she probably has lost a little bit of notoriety.
She may need to do it to come back.
She may need to do it to come
We'll
back.
get her.
She may be
Get
in
her,
the-
and you know what we'll do? We'll have her paying off the judges just to really zing it to them.
Hey, do you think that we could sell the show to Lori Loughlin?
Yes. Yeah,
I
she's
mean,
broke.
We'll try
No,
to sell
she's-
Eddie
I
Fiola's
don't think
show
she's
to Lori
broke.
Loughlin.
No, she's not broke, but she
she's still doing. Yeah, she's still working. I think.
Didn't she do like a Hallmark movie or something?
Yeah, I think
Something?
so. I think so.
She did a lot of them, from what I
No,
understand.
I mean like since the incident.
Oh,
the incident.
Recently,
I think she did like a holiday Hallmark.
We're
let's
not
see
gonna
what
call
I
it
got.
Rad Part 2. We're just gonna call it the incident.
yeah, I mean,
What we got here?
do you think it's worth making a phone call?
Yes,
just to see
is
if
it
she's
worth
interested?
it? Yeah, absolutely.
Hey.
We're gonna do Rad Part 2. There's no age limit in the Olympics. You just got to qualify, right?
You just got to qualify.
Oh my God, this is gonna be perfect.
She did 2
So-
episodes of some TV show in 2020.
And I want to play myself. I don't want to be a character. I want to be Raymond Schleckweg
Yeah.
trying to do. But we definitely need a stunt double because I really can't pedal a bike very well these days.
Trying to
So
win
we need a
orange
stunt
grips
double for everything.
for the love of the
Oh
game.
no! She's starring in a TV show right now.
All
That's
right.
filmed.
Oh,
So I think
darn
she's
it.
out.
Well,
You
Dave,
never know. These people work. You know, these people got to work.
That's true.
I mean, Dave, you could make the argument that Eddie Fiola's Factor Freestyle is the preeminent OG BMX TV show right now.
Yeah.
Is was there anything inaccurate about that statement, Dave?
I don't know. I think it was right on point.
Okay. So use that line and pitch to Lori Loughlin, or ask Bob
I'm gonna
Harrow
pitch it
if
to
he
Lori.
would. Well, ask Bob Harrow if he would like to accompany you in your pitch to Lori Loughlin.
Jessica Alba.
Just
You know what? Here's what we'll do. We're gonna get Dave to pitch it to we're gonna get Dave to pitch it to Spike Jones. Joe, you pitch it to Jessica Alba. Between the two of them,
Yeah, we'll get a winner.
We could be shooting.
Wait a second.
We'll be shooting this by June. We'll be shooting it by June.
Could we make a contest? We could have two teams and see who can get
Let them
closest.
battle out for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna give them the opportunity to bid on doing our movie.
All right, so
The incident.
it's Dave. It's Dave, and he's gonna go to Spike, who's gonna go to Lori.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now Chad and I tried to get to Bill Allen, and we have like 30 emails that Bill Allen did not respond to. And
if you got to get a hold of Bill Allen,
funniest.
Bill Allen has a manager because he does like those celebrity autograph shows.
Go right to Tony Donaldson. Tony Donaldson, Tony Donaldson. Joe Gertola's brother, who does the Hell Fucking Yeah podcast, he was like, he's a huge Rad fan, and he's like, is there any way you can get that Bill Allen on? I'm like, I don't know the guy. It'd be impossible. So he like messaged the guy and all this stuff and nothing. I sent Tony Donaldson a message at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and Bill Allen messaged Gertola back by like noon. Tony Donaldson gets shit done, man. And he's good friends with the Rad Kid guy, whatever crew, Bill Allen, whatever the fuck his name is.
I was disappointed that the old man from My Favorite Martian came.
Are you talking about Mr. Hand? You're talking about Mr. Hand. Yes, please call him Mr. Hand.
Yeah, he will.
Dave, are you all right? Dave's texting another business deal.
Ray
I'm saying something to Spike right now. I thought I was
He's
just
trying to log into. He's trying to log into TikTok.
Please don't.
Thank you, Dave.
Dave.
I thought you just asked me a job. I mean, this is Eddie's show. I want to make sure I follow through now.
Don't text Spike this kind of nonsense. You're gonna ruin everything.
It's a very well.
You're gonna ruin everything. If we need to have him on again, you're gonna take the text back. Tell him you're kidding. Say sorry. I was trying to send this to Jessica Alba. My bad.
Sorry, Spike. I didn't mean to text you.
Yeah. You don't want to involve Spike in anything. You don't want to ruin that BMX connection we have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. Dave, I thought you knew when we were joking. Like,
it was a joke.
Thought you knew.
Oh.
Yeah. We don't really. Yeah, we're probably not going to do a Rad 2, but it'd be fun to talk about it. Like, probably not going to do it.
Okay.
I mean, if Hollywood comes knocking, I'm in. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot of time on my hands these days. But you know.
Hey, what is the deal with the 43 movie? Are you guys familiar with this?
Yeah.
Is this executive produced by Andy Pandemic?
No, it's an actual movie called the 43 movie, or movie 43.
When was it put out?
It's on its way. Oh wait, I'm sorry, 2013.
Yeah, I was going to say it's been a while, Joe.
So I am shockingly late.
Who?
43 movie.
Who's the director?
2000.
Like Elizabeth
Banks. I
A
can't
dozen
believe-
directors contribute to a collection of outrageous tales and spoofs. You can
Never
rent
heard
it
of
for
it.
$3.99 here. Elizabeth Banks, Kristen Bell, Halle Berry. Yeah, I got the interweb right here on my phone or on my TV.
Joe, I don't think it has anything to do with.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville is in it.
See, that was what tipped me off. I thought that it was something like it just, and out of nowhere, it popped up across my Instagram. And
So's McLovin.
It wasn't nowhere. It's Frog Bars.
That's
that's
quite
what was
a
tripping
Frog
me out.
bars. Did somebody say frog bars?
A lot of Todd said frog bars.
That looked like Paula Seeker doing a headbutt.
Now I get to watch this movie and know that it was from 2013. I thought
don't really
it was
wanna
coming
see
out.
this movie. There's a lot. It's a good cast.
It is a crazy good cast, no question.
I still don't really want to watch it though.
There's McLovin again.
I told you he was there.
So
Dave,
Hugh Jackman.
who are you texting? See, let's see, find out who Dave's texting. Just Dave, you all right? Dave?
My wife just landed in Denver, and I just have to make sure I know.
Is she buying a property somewhere?
Oh,
she
yeah,
go to
what's
buy
she
a
buying
property
in
without
Denver? What is she buying in Denver?
We are actually buying another property, Ray.
See, do I not know my stuff? Yeah.
Ray is.
But we're not. It's not in Denver. It's in Portland.
Dave told us 4 months ago. He said that he didn't know what he was doing and had to ply a guy's ramp to make a little money just so they could keep the heat on in the house. But now he's,
which was true.
Buying his third. Yeah, I know.
I was thinking you wanted to be nearer the Scooter King.
Oh,
Scooter King.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, James
Denver.
McGraw, the Scooter King.
No, it's not in Denver. It's in Portland. The house is in Portland.
Oh,
but she's flying to Denver to see the Portland house.
No, she's flying back from Wales, and she's in Denver, and then she's coming back home.
Oh,
But we are in the throes of buying another house.
Wow.
Fancy.
What limousine service picks you guys up?
Just because we own houses doesn't mean that we have limo service.
Oh my, the dog
we have a
ate
hard
the caviar again.
Yeah, we have a hard time just keeping one house going here. I mean, you got a couple.
How long does it take for you to set up one of your houses for Airbnb, Dave?
Oh
yeah, how's that
months.
coming? Do you have it listed yet?
No, we have.
He has a house he's going to put on Airbnb.
You're not making that thing an
things to
Airbnb.
furnish. Only
Joe, you're not
only until construction starts.
Joe, if you make that into an Airbnb, I'm buying it every day, and Todd and I are going to wreck the joint. Todd and I are going to throw a kegger. We're going to buy a keg of apple cider and goddamn
Joe,
let all the kids
question, Joe,
in the neighborhood come in.
It took us a week, but it's a very small house.
Was it already furnished?
No, it didn't have any furniture. But we went to IKEA there's
Right.
IKEA there, and we just loaded up all kinds.
It's like, what, you building a treehouse?
Pretty
So
much.
that's what
there
I'm
you
going to
get
be doing tomorrow.
Lost in the maze that is IKEA. Yeah, I know. all
Yeah,
about that.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what we did. A couple trips to IKEA. But Joe, I still don't think you should take the walls out. He walked away.
Yeah,
Hey, Ethan, what do you think about the
his response to
UCI
that. He
and
laughed.
Olympics? Like, really, where do you think we're at with that?
I don't think it's moved on much, really. It still needs more female participation.
I know. How can we do that? It's like,
I have no idea. I mean, more federations behind the Flatland riders. I think there are the riders out there, actually. But it's a bit like the female park scene was. I remember watching it like 6 years ago. It's pretty small, and now there's like 80 riders.
yeah.
That could be the same in Flatland with support from the federations, but it's down to federations, really. I mean,
What are the federations?
so like if you're US cycling, Japanese cycling, British
Oh, I
cycling,
got
for
it.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of women out there that kill it. Like Brazil, for example. There were a couple of the girl Letitia was the Chimera Games. She was amazing. There's Karine, I don't know how to say her name, but Karine won the Chimera Games, for example. She wasn't at the UCI World, you know. So there's plenty of room for, how would you say, for growth, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I feel it's just down to the federations because there's not enough money in sponsorships to go around, really.
To get
it's
them
expensive
to
as
contest.
well. It's expensive to go to events, so.
Right.
Oh, right.
But saying that, the UCI Worlds there's only one event, well, 2 events next year, UCI wise, that I know of anyway. So essentially, I don't think you have to qualify. So there's a lot of people entering that one, a lot.
Where is it?
It's in Glasgow, in Scotland.
And what month do you know?
August. It's between August the 3rd and 13th. And the Flatland will be like a week-long thing, apparently.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, so I guess there'll be 2 days practice, and then there'll be qualifying, semi-final, final, which will make. Or maybe it's 4
everybody
days
rested.
practice, and then the 3 days of competition. Maybe it's like that.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
What's the why stretch it out like that? Do you know?
I know that the UCI like to have a qualifying round and then a semi-final and finals. They like to have it structured like that. That's just the way that they do it. I mean, I think it's pretty good, actually. It does work. It does take up a lot of time, but also it does give the riders a chance to prepare, and you do see the riders that are prepared the best, like Moto, for example, won every round in Abu Dhabi. It's pretty obvious that he was ready for that contest. Like, like we talked about Dub being ready for Circle of Balance, and then it took Moto like 50 hours to get to New Orleans. So I just think he was jet lagged the whole time he was there.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yeah.
And he was a little bit off, if you noticed. Like, it just wasn't his normal self, I would say.
Watching dudes who are that dialed get in head to head like that, the amount of that hundreds of hours, and it's not just like it is 100 hours, but it's 100, hundreds of perfect hours, and all of these little things, adjustments that they have to make in their life to make sure that it works, and then to come right to that moment and stay in the same mindset.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to you earlier, and then to have the ability to change it and go, no, I'm going to react to what this guy did, and then I'm going to do different. That's where, like I always say, you have to have extra gears, and the best riders do have the extra gears.
Yeah.
And the guys that are not going to do as well are just stuck on what they do.
Yeah.
And I think that hurts some of the guys in the battle contest format. That's what I see.
When you say hurts the guys,
Yeah.
who are the guys who get hurt?
The guys that are just sticking to one plan, and that's it.
Right. Do you think that they're not stoked on battling, or do you think that in their mind?
No, I just think that everybody's got a different interpretation of what it is, and a different goal of what they're trying to achieve. And some guys are just really suited for it, like Dub. But I feel like he's better suited towards a battle format than he is for a 3-minute run. His riding's so intense. How can he keep that going for 3 minutes? It's going to be rare. I think Guru Jam, funny enough, was one where he did your event. But it's quite rare that he rides you know, no touch in 3 minutes. It's rare.
I got it. He has such an explosive style.
Yeah, there's no breaks. If you there's no breaks in between. Like,
Yeah.
some guys pump a steamroller for like 30 seconds. They're taking a break. You know, and he's not doing that. So there's a big difference, I think.
Yeah, and that's what you have to bring to a battle. And then at that point, that's where the extra gears kick in.
Yeah. Yeah, like a surprise trick, or could be anything, like different levels of combos that you do, you know.
Yeah.
So what happened with Vicky? Did he get
I have no idea.
otherwise...
No idea. Said there's family issues and he couldn't make it. That's all I heard. I haven't spoken to him about it, but that's what I heard. And then Mickey was in, or as everybody called him there, Vicky Gaudos.
That's funny.
Or Mickey Gomez, he was called at the Mateus. Calling him out. It was pretty funny. Yeah, it's a nice. I think it was equally a nice moment for him and for Terry and Scott to be on the floor at the same time. It was really cool.
Sure.
Wow.
And it's like I think it's the event I look to. Like it's like it sort of celebrates the artistic side of Flatland. I think that's why I expected some guys to do something new there, because that's, from my interpretation of it, that's what it's about. It's about bringing something new to the event that celebrates Flatland. And the guys that, like we already discussed, you and Dub did that. Like, you've switched it up so many times. If you watch all of his runs, you're like, it's not the same stuff each time.
Right. Okay.
So I think he was taking a risk, and Dub played that game as well. And then I feel like you let him in the door, and then he just steamrolled straight in there. Not literally a steamroller, obviously, because he's on the back wheel, but he literally was like, right, this is my chance. I'm in. And he reacted, and that's why I was stoked for Dub. It was good to see. He's had a tough time recently, so it was really good to see him. You could see, I felt when I was there that he wanted it more than anybody else. Like, I really did feel that. I was like, I didn't feel that some of the guys were too bothered about it to win. Everyone was just happy to be there. Dub wanted first place, and that was it.
Okay.
Which I like that. That's why you're there.
Yep.
Yeah. What kind of purse was it?
No idea. We were just discussing that before. Where were you, Dave?
I don't know. I missed it. I was sleeping. I was texting somebody.
No one knows.
No one knows.
Ray's gonna love that part.
That's what we were talking about when we asked you if you had made money in a pro contest.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
The lead up part. Yeah.
It's supposed to be your show now, Dave. What are we doing? What? Come on, man.
No, it's Fiola's show.
No, he's not even on it.
We're in negotiations.
This could not be funnier.
No, this is not now known as formerly the Eddie Fiola show.
I'm gonna have to talk to Eddie's investors and get tips on scheduling Eddie. I know he's a busy dude, and we didn't get a confirmation, but I actually kind of think when I think about what we do on the show, I laugh harder when I think that we sold the show to a guy who doesn't want to show up. And then we're going to keep doing it. But like, we have license basically to do what we want to do in the name of Eddie Fiola, which is like so funny. Like that Claire video. I cannot get enough of that. All right. So we are just past 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah, do you pay extra to have this for 2 hours? No, just out of interest.
I do pay for, I do pay for Zoom, yeah. And that allows us to go longer than 40 minutes.
Yeah, I wondered that.
Yeah, it's not super expensive.
It's getting
It's
And
getting
they
late.
barked at me.
80 pays it now, right?
I send all the I should send the
you send Eddie an
reports to
expense report.
Eddie.
Yep.
Yeah, we have the website is coming soon. I'll send you the bill for that because you have that coming soon.
I sent you money for that, by the way.
Oh, I know. I'm saying you the invoice so you can send it to Eddie. But
okay.
are you doing anything with the website?
Of course,
Andy and I are going to have some at
orangegrips.com.
Yeah, orangegrips.com.
No, that would be fantastic. I'm surprised Joe hasn't thought of that yet.
Yeah, 43 orange grips. I can just see it now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Maybe we can do an interpretation of that to 99 red balloons, but 43 orange grips.
Yeah, exactly.
Orange grips.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So we got.
All right, Joe. Good job.
Expense reports to Eddie.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me on here. I've really enjoyed chatting to you guys.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's
good to see you. Good to see you guys.
Put together a great show, Joe. You had a lot to offer, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate you all. All right, guys.
All right.
Until we reconvene in text. Catch you later.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. See you guys.
Talk to you soon, guys.